Chapter 784. Baya looked at the ring. Aren't we moving too fast? We never divorced, Gu Lingqing said. Baya was speechless. She was a little confused and said incoherently, "We didn't divorce and you're going to erase my memory. Isn't that committing bigamy? I mean, you don't even remember that we didn't divorce. Before I erase my memory, I can cancel our marriage information with a call. You won't commit bigamy," Gu Lingqing explained seriously. Baya felt that she was amusing. She didn't commit bigamy, so she didn't have to worry about it. She put the ring in her pocket. Gu Lingqing frowned. "Aren't you going to wear it?" "Aren't you wearing it too?" Baya asked. Gu Lingqing immediately put the ring on her ring finger. Baya thought for a while and returned the ring to him. Gu Lingqing's heart skipped a beat and his eyes darkened. "Help me put it on," Baya said. He instantly swept away the concealment in his eyes, smiled and helped her put it on. Baya looked at the ring on her finger. Under the sunlight, it was reflecting the light. She suddenly remembered something. "My senior said that you and I have 2 children. Can I see them?" Xiaoyan has been living with his adoptive parents. Shosho is with mom. I called mom and asked her to bring Shosho here, Gu Lingqing said. Xiaoyan, the 7-year-old child? Why is he living with his adoptive parents? Baya asked in confusion. Xiaoyan is not 7. He is 9. Shosho is 15 months old. When you left, it was still winter. Now summer is almost over. Gu Lingqing looked at her gently and said, "As for why he is living with his adoptive parents, it's because you think that Xiaoyan wants to live with his adoptive parents more. When everything is over, he will bring everyone together." Baya answered. 9 years old. Doesn't that mean they've been together for a long time? After braised pork with soy sauce was done, they began to eat. "Are you still going to the research center in the afternoon?" Baya asked. "I have something to tell you." Gu Lingqing's expression was very serious. I'm not a security guard at the research center. I'm from the investment research center," Gu Lingqing said. Baya paused for a second. "You are also the one who invested in 11. "Yes," Gu Lingqing replied. Baya hadn't expected this. "Why did you do this?" "The research in the research center is beneficial to the whole world, and experts from all over the world are gathered there. As for the investment in the police station, they want to have a chance to contact you," Gu Lingqing said frankly. Baya didn't know what to say. "Are you rich?" "Yes." "If you have so much money, why don't you support the development of your country?" Baya asked puzzledly. 90% of it is used for military development. I took over the special forces in the northern and southern regions to quell the civil unrest. Now Wuxia can control everything, Gu Lingqing explained. "What do you mean?" Baya was confused. She thought for a while. "You are a high-ranking official in your country. Isn't it inappropriate for you to walk around in the US like this?" "I'm just behind the scenes. I haven't officially announced it yet. I accepted the military to help Wuxia overcome his difficulties. In the future, I want to be with you. If you stay in the US, I will stay. If you want to visit other places, I will accompany you. For the rest of my life, my time is all yours," Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Baya listened to his confession calmly. She was surprised and didn't say anything. "Let's eat." After the meal, he left her place and went to the clinic. She kept thinking about what he said. She felt that there was a deep sense of apology in his tone. It was as if he wanted to make it up to her. It made her feel uncomfortable. Unknowingly, she arrived at the clinic and went in. "Dr. Bai, the patient in the afternoon can't come. Do you want to make an appointment with someone else?" the assistant asked. "There's no need." Baya went to the treatment room alone. She put on some music and lay on the sofa. She closed her eyes and emptied her mind to rest. Unknowingly, she fell asleep. When she woke up, her mind was clearer. She couldn't be afraid of the future because she was afraid of the past. She still had to move on in the future. She called Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing picked up the phone as soon as it rang. "Are you free now?" Baya asked. "Yes. I'm done with my work here. It's still early. I know a good place to fish. Want to go together?" Baya invited. Gu Lingqing smiled. "Sure. I might stay there tonight. I need to get some clothes. I want to bring you to a place tomorrow, Baya said with a smile. Sure. See you in an hour. Baya hung up the phone. She went home and packed her luggage. Her phone rang. It was Gu Lingqing's. She picked up. Take my car. I'm at your house, Gu Lingqing said. Baya opened the door. She was carrying a suitcase and a big bag of luggage. Gu Lingqing looked at her bag in surprise. You even brought a pot? I caught some fish. I used the pot to cook it in the wild. It's very delicious, Baya said. Gu Lingqing took her luggage and put it in the back. I still have a few bottles of water. Wait a minute. Baya went back to get purified water. There were 15 liters. She took out 10 bottles. Gu Lingqing helped to carry them to the car. They set off. Baya navigated the address. It's a bit far. It'll take 2 hours. But you won't regret it once you get there. Yeah. I think we'll pass by the supermarket. I'll go and buy some things, Gu Lingqing said. Sure. They went to the supermarket. Gu Lingqing bought a tent, a lighter, beef jerky, dried vegetables, 2 bags of spaghetti, apples, lemons, and watermelon. Then they set off. When they arrived at the location Baya mentioned, it was already 18:35 in the afternoon. The sky was getting dark. Are we still going fishing at night? Gu Lingqing asked. If we fish now, we might be able to catch a fish before it gets dark. We'll have fish to eat at night, Baya said. She took off her fishing gear. Are we going to set up the tent here? Gu Lingqing looked around. It was surrounded by mountains on both sides. The scenery was good. It was a little cold, but there would be a lot of mosquitoes. Luckily, he brought some mosquito repellent. Yeah. After I catch a fish, we can bathe in the river. After that, we'll wash it down with clean water. Gu Lingqing frowned. What if someone passes by? Baya smiled and said, I brought a prop here. No one can see it. Chapter 785. Baya put the fishing rod in place, took out a retractable rod from the bag, stuck the rod into the ground, and fixed it with a stone. There was a circle on the rod, and the circle was surrounded by opaque plastic. If a person went in, only their head would be exposed, and no one would be able to see what was inside. Gu Lingqing nodded. It's indeed very convenient. Baya smiled. Seeing the buoy moving, he immediately took the rod. It was a 5-centimeter African crucian carp. Baya continued fishing. Gu Lingqing set up a tent and went to the edge of the forest to pick up a lot of dry wood. There were 2 stone circles 10 meters around the tent for firewood. This place looked very wild, and there might be wild beasts in the forest. With a fire, the beasts would not come close, and it could also repel mosquitoes. He also made a stone circle 10 meters behind, and placed a big tree trunk in it. This way, the tree trunk could burn for a night. When it was done, he set up a simple stone stove by the lake, put a pot on it, and boiled water. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing's familiar look. Did you often live in the wild in the past? Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. You and I used to live in the wild for a long time. Baya was stunned. She liked living in the wild so much now. Was it because she had lived in the wild with him in the past? No wonder you look so familiar. I've already caught 5 fish, but they are not big. I'm not very lucky today. Baya said apologetically. There are ham sausages in the fridge, and the braised pork that we didn't finish at noon. I've brought them all. Even if there are no fish, we can eat noodles. It's okay. Besides, 5 is enough. Gu Lingqing said. You've brought the braised pork too. There's a barbecue rack in the bag. Set up a stone stove later, and we'll grill the fish. Baya said. Gu Lingqing went to her bag and took out the barbecue rack. There were all kinds of seasonings on the barbecue rack, and they were all wrapped together with plastic wrap. He took the things down. The biggest carp Baya had caught today was only about 15 centimeters long. She cleaned the fish by the river and found a branch. She sharpened one end of the branch with a knife and inserted it into the belly of the fish. She took it out of the fish's mouth and roasted it on the grill. Gu Lingqing carried the braised pork out, placed it on the stone, and put the noodles in the pot. Smelling the aroma, Baya sighed. If only we had 2 bottles of beer, today would be perfect. Wait a minute. Gu Lingqing stood up and moved a box of beer from the car. There were 12 cans in total. Baiya was curious. How many things did you bring? It's amazing. You brought everything I could think of. Gu Lingqing opened a can and passed it to Baiya. Baiya took a sip and exhaled. It feels so refreshing. Gu Lingqing drank a mouthful of beer with her. The sky was already dark, and the surroundings were very quiet. It was so quiet that they could hear the crackling of the flames. Give me your hand, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya was in a good mood, so she passed her hand to him. He took out the mosquito repellent and applied it on Baiya's arm. Baiya laughed. I'm going swimming later. Wouldn't it be a waste to apply it? We'll stay here for 2 days. It's enough, Gu Lingqing said. He helped her apply it on the other hand and the exposed leg. We'll leave early tomorrow morning. We'll go to the top of the mountain. We'll be able to see the sunrise. It's very beautiful, Baiya said. Okay. After eating tonight, take a shower and go to bed early. My alarm is set for 5 o'clock. Is that okay? Gu Lingqing asked. Baiya made an okay gesture. She sprinkled some salt, cumin, and spices on the grilled fish. Then, she turned around and continued grilling. Gu Lingqing put some dried vegetables in the pot. Soon the noodles were ready. Did you bring a bowl? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. They're stainless steel bowls. There are 2 of them. The chopsticks are also stainless steel. You can look for them. If not, I'll go get them. Baiya stood up. It's okay. You'll be responsible for grilling the fish. Gu Lingqing stood up and took her bag. She brought a lot of things. Steel wires, ropes, flashlights, daggers, a space blanket, and a sleeping bag. He remembered that she also brought a suitcase. Your clothes are in the suitcase? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. Baiya passed the grilled fish to him. This small fish should be ready to eat. Try it. It'll taste better if you tear it with your hands. Gu Lingqing took the fish from Baiya and tore it apart to eat. Baiya scooped 2 bowls of noodles and placed them on a rock. She asked, Have you eaten slabbed grilled meat before? Gu Lingqing shook her head. No. I came here with my colleagues. They made slabbed grilled meat. It's really delicious. We'll bring some grilled meat next time. I'll cook it for you, Baiya said. The corners of Gu Lingqing's mouth curled up. He thought of their life on the deserted island. Although they had nothing, they lived a comfortable and happy life. They didn't have any worries. They let go of everything and lived a happier life. Stress was given to oneself. The more one could not let go, the greater the stress. After eating, Baiya jumped into the water and swam. She did not even take off her clothes. Gu Lingqing also went into the water. The water in the lake in the forest was very clean. There was no pollution. Moreover, it was very cool. Baiya swam for 20 minutes. She went ashore first. She took out the clothes she was going to wear at night from her suitcase and put them on the circle. She opened a bottle of purified water and washed herself. She put on her clothes and came out. Gu Lingqing walked towards her. Take off your clothes later. I'll wash them for you, Baiya said. Where should I dry them? Gu Lingqing asked, puzzled. I forgot to put up the drying rack. I'm sorry, Baiya said apologetically. You can put it up tomorrow when you come back. It's hot, so it will dry easily, Gu Lingqing suggested. Okay. You wash first. I'll get you some water. Baiya put the dirty clothes on the rock. She went to get a bottle of clean water for Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing took a shower and changed into clean clothes. Baiya packed her things and found a problem. She originally wanted to sleep in the car. But now, Gu Lingqing prepared a tent. Are we going to sleep in the tent tonight? We'll sleep in the tent tonight. I remember there's a kind of tent that is fixed on the roof of the car. It's safer, Gu Lingqing said. She replied. Are we going to sleep together? Yes. Gu Lingqing walked past her and took the space quilt and mat from the train seat. He put the space quilt under the tent, put the mat on it, threw the space quilt she brought into the tent, and went in first. Baiya took a deep breath. She was already past the age of a young girl. She knew what would happen between a mature man and a woman. She didn't reject it that much, but she also felt awkward. She entered the tent. Gu Lingqing was already lying down. With the dim light, She could see that he was using his arm as a pillow. The quilt was on his stomach. It seemed that he was asleep. She lay down beside him and also pinched a corner of the quilt and put it on his stomach. Chapter 786. Baya blushed before she could reply. She turned around and ignored him. Gu Lingqing turned around, hugged her waist, and pulled her to his side. He greedily smelled her scent and rubbed his face against her hair. Baya felt his breath fall on her face, and the whooshing sound disturbed her mind. Gu Lingqing, it's hot, Baya said. He moved her face and kissed her lips. Baya's heartbeat quickened, but she didn't know why she didn't reject it. Gu Lingqing's movements became wilder and wilder, as if what happened next was natural. His palm went under her clothes and unbuttoned her back. Baya was in a daze. She was dizzy from the heat and couldn't think of anything. Everything was under his control. When he went in, she slowly came back to her senses and cried out, "It hurts." "Okay, I'll slow down." Gu Lingqing kissed her face and lips. Soon, the pain stopped and was replaced by another pleasant feeling. "I'm not in my safe period," Baya reminded him. Gu Lingqing kissed her passionately and replied in a hoarse voice, "I know, don't worry." Baya didn't expect to have sex with him so soon, but everything seemed to happen naturally. There was no barrier in between. After that, Gu Lingqing washed up. She became shy and turned her back to him. Gu Lingqing faced her, hugged her waist, and kissed the back of her head. "Sleep." "Okay." Baya fell asleep in a daze. The next day, she was woken up by the alarm clock. The sky was just getting brighter. She turned her head and saw that Gu Lingqing was also awake. He opened his eyes and looked at her. For a moment, she felt very happy and smiled. "Morning." Gu Lingqing also slightly raised the corner of his mouth and sat up. "Morning." "I'm going to brush my teeth and wash my face," Baya said. "It's cold in the mountains for breakfast. Put on your coat," Gu Lingqing reminded her. "Yes." Baya put on a coat, opened the tent, and came out. A cool breeze blew over, bringing with it the moist, fresh air of the mountains. Baya took a deep breath and felt very comfortable. Gu Lingqing also came out. After he boiled some hot water, he brushed his teeth and washed his face. Then he put noodles in the pot and dried vegetables. Baya sat beside her. The light from the fire made her face blush. "Today we're going to climb to the top of the mountain and watch the sunrise." He first scooped a bowl of noodle soup for Baya to warm her stomach. He scooped a bowl for himself and sat beside her. Baya realized that although he wasn't a talkative person, he was actually very meticulous and would do anything. His actions warmed people's hearts more than words. "Have you been to the top of the mountain before?" Gu Lingqing asked. "No, I've seen pictures taken by others. It's very beautiful, so I want to go to the top of the mountain to have a look," Baya said. "When you go, prepare a dagger. There may be poisonous snakes and beasts in the mountains, as well as poisonous spiders. Protect yourself first. You'll follow me later," Gu Lingqing reminded her. Without Gu Lingqing, she would probably never be able to go to the top of such a mountain by herself. Because of him, she wanted to experience a different scenery. "Okay." Baya followed Gu Lingqing's instructions. She wore a long coat and trousers, and tied the trousers' legs with a rope to prevent small insects from getting in. She wore a hat, and her neck was also protected. She also wore white rubber gloves. Gu Lingqing carried a backpack with some of the most basic things for survival in the wild. There were also 2 bottles of mineral water, a small bottle and a large bottle, and some beef jerky. Gu Lingqing walked in front, and Baya followed behind. Even though it hadn't rained in the past few days, some places on the mountain were still quite wet and slippery. Gu Lingqing walked very slowly. She cut off all the branches that blocked the way, and tried to walk in an open space. Fortunately, the mountain wasn't very high. The 2 of them climbed for 1.5 hours to the top of the mountain. The sun just came out from the sky. The scenery was so beautiful that it could attract everyone's eyes. "Aren't you going to take pictures?" Gu Lingqing asked. "Feel it with your heart and see with your eyes. The scenery, the wind, the smell, and the people at this time. Take a few deep breaths, because taste is the thing that can stay in the memory for the longest time. When you think of this taste, You can remember the scene at that time. As for taking pictures, other people can take much better pictures than me. Baiya said after taking a deep breath. Gu Lingqing also took a deep breath. She thought that the reason why she had sex with Gu Lingqing so naturally was that she was familiar with his smell. So she didn't reject it, wasn't afraid, and was sincerely convinced. Even though she had no memory of him, she still remembered his feeling. Let's go, Baiya said. Wait a minute. Drink some water and eat something. It took some energy to climb up the mountain. And it took more energy to go down the mountain because the road was slippery. Gu Lingqing suggested and gave her a bottle of mineral water. It was a small bottle. He also gave her some beef jerky. Baiya sat at the top of the mountain and ate the beef jerky. He raised a smile. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing asked confusedly. Now I can understand why so many people like to climb mountains. When you reach the top of the mountain, you have a sense of achievement. After eating noodles at the top of the mountain, your life will be complete, Baiya said with a smile. If I had known earlier, I would have put a stainless steel bowl and brought some noodles, Gu Lingqing said. We can wait for next time. If it's not complete, it will be more memorable. When we go down the mountain later, can we make some traps in the forest? Maybe we'll be able to catch some prey at night, Baiya said. I brought some fruits. We can use fruits as bait, Gu Lingqing said. And the beef jerky? The color of the beef jerky is not bright. If it is mixed with the soil, it will be hard for the animals to find it, Gu Lingqing reminded. Oh, then I'll eat it myself, Baiya said with a smile. She looked at him and suddenly remembered what happened last night. Her heart beat faster, and she lowered her head shyly. Gu Lingqing stood up and looked down at the mountain. Next time, let's go to the beach. This weather is a good time to catch crabs. Okay, I like it, Baiya said with a smile. He knew that she liked it because the time on the deserted island was the happiest time they had ever spent together. After eating and resting for half an hour, they went down the mountain. When they were about to reach the lake, Gu Lingqing made 4 traps. Then the two of them came out of the mountain together. Looking at the time, it was already 9:15 in the morning. Baiya felt hot. She wanted to swim, so she took off her coat. Gu Lingqing stopped her. Don't swim first. The water temperature is very low now. It's not good for your health. Wait until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I saw a lot of fish coming over. Go and make traps. Help me pick some branches. Okay. Okay, I'll go pick some branches. Baiya listened to Gu Lingqing. The two of them went to pick a lot of branches. Chapter 787. Gu Lingqing was at the lakeside. There were cobblestones everywhere, and branches were inserted into them. They were densely packed together, forming the shape of an inverted conch. The outer layer was very narrow, and the inside was very wide. Fragrant fish feed was scattered inside, and the fish would follow the fragrance and enter. Once they entered, they would not be able to come out. After that, Gu Lingqing went to build a drying rack with branches, while Baiya went to the other side of the lake to wash clothes. When the clothes were ready, Gu Lingqing had finished setting up the drying rack. She was a little hungry after drying her clothes. Looking at the time, it was already 11:35. Even though he didn't do anything, he felt that time had passed quickly and was very fulfilling. Do we have enough noodles? Baiya asked. There's also a big bag. I bought 500 grams. Together with dried vegetables and braised pork, you can eat 2 meals. Baiya smiled. I'm free in the afternoon. I hope I can catch enough fish to last until tomorrow afternoon. Let's go. I like camping here. Gu Lingqing also showed a faint smile. If you like, we can come here more often. Next time we come, we will be more prepared. However, if the weather gets too cold, don't go swimming. Didn't they say that winter swimming is good for the body? Baiya asked in confusion and sat down beside him. Gu Lingqing was boiling water. She explained. It's good to swim in winter often. It can increase blood circulation, but it's hard to swim once. It's like losing half of your life. Many people get sick for half a month after swimming in winter. Oh, Baiya replied. I'll go fishing first. The earlier I fish, the more I can catch. I'll go hunting in the forest later. I'll be back in the evening. If you find anything dangerous, stay in the car and wait for me, Gu Lingqing said. What about you? What if you're in danger? Baya asked worriedly. I can run 6 or 7 meters away from the trunk in 3 seconds. Besides, I have a saber with me. It won't be a problem, Gu Lingqing explained. Baya nodded. Don't go in for too long. We're leaving at noon tomorrow. It's okay if we can't catch any prey. I can still fish. Just go for 2 hours. Is that okay? He couldn't bear to leave her here for too long. After a meal, Baya went fishing while Gu Lingqing carried his backpack and set off. She looked at Gu Lingqing's back view. Perhaps because he was a soldier, she felt that he was manly, handsome, and gave her a sense of security. Her heart was also filled with warmth. She patiently fished. At 3 o'clock, the fish she caught were not big, but she had caught more than 20 fish. At 3:50 p.m., Gu Lingqing came out of the woods and caught a pheasant. Baya was surprised and ran towards him. You caught it? Gu Lingqing nodded. It's not very big, but it should be enough for dinner. I'll go and see if there's any prey in our trap. That's great. Let's go and stew the pheasant first. I also caught more than 20 fish. It should be enough for dinner. Are there any fish in the trap? Gu Lingqing asked. Baya took the pheasant from Gu Lingqing's hands and replied. Not yet. I wonder if there are any? Gu Lingqing walked over to take a look. He stretched out his hand and grabbed it. There are 2. They don't look small. Huh. Baya carried the bucket over. Gu Lingqing grabbed the carp and placed it in the bucket. The carp looked to be about 5 to 6 catties. Looks like we won't be able to finish it, Baya said with a smile. Yeah, we can take it away if we can't finish it. The lake looks very clean. I'll go to the woods and be back in an hour. Okay. Gu Lingqing went into the woods to see if there was any prey in the trap. Baya prepared the pheasant first and put it in the pot to stew it. This kind of pheasant needed to be stewed for 2 hours before it would be soft and tasty. She prepared the pheasant and cleaned the fish. The fish she caught was not big, so she still wanted to eat grilled fish. However, the carp in Gu Lingqing's trap was a little big. She only killed one of them and cut it into thin slices. She marinated it first. Gu Lingqing came out of the woods and brought back another pheasant. Looks like we have a great harvest. We can have a good rest tomorrow, Baya said with a smile. Yeah, I took some time to dismantle the trap. It smells so good. Is the pheasant ready? Gu Lingqing asked. He looked at the time. It was only 16:20. Not yet. It needs to be stewed for another hour. Is there any dried vegetables? Baya asked. Yes, I brought a lot. I'll put it in half an hour. What are you going to do with this pheasant? Gu Lingqing asked. Leave it to me. You go for a swim and take a bath. We'll be done in the morning, Baya said with a smile and took the pheasant from Gu Lingqing's hands. She was good at cooking and preferred to do it herself. Gu Lingqing was sweating all over. He supported her and went for a swim. Baya cleaned the pheasant, cut it into 4 pieces and put them in a plastic bag. She remembered that there was a small fridge in Gu Lingqing's car. The pheasant would definitely not be finished today. She put it in the fridge and ate it tomorrow. It was still very fresh. Gu Lingqing came up. You go take a bath. I'll wash the clothes. Yeah, you should go for a swim too. The water is very cool, Gu Lingqing suggested. Okay. Baya also went in for a swim. After a bath, Gu Lingqing sat in front of the fire to roast the fish. Baya washed the clothes and hung them in the sun. She sat next to Gu Lingqing and sniffed. It looks delicious. Gu Lingqing passed the roasted fish to her. Be careful, it's hot. Baya took the fish, blew on it, and tore the meat from the fish's stomach to eat. Gu Lingqing looked at her. When we go back tomorrow, I want Mom to bring Shosho to America. What do you think? Baya's heart was beating very fast. I don't think I know your mother anymore. What will she think of me? She understands you and supports me to come to America to find you. You two had a very good relationship. Don't worry. Shosho is already 15 months old. He can walk and call Mom and Dad. Baya did not know how she should face them now that they were here. She was a little worried. Don't be afraid. I'm here, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya looked at his deep gaze. It was very powerful and firm. She compromised and nodded. Since we've decided to be together, we'll have to meet them eventually. Let them come. When are they coming? I want to arrange for it to be next Sunday. What do you think? Gu Lingqing asked. That's good. I'm more free on the weekends. Baiya said and ate the fish. Actually, her heart was beating faster than she thought. She was not as calm as she thought. She was a little worried that if her mother and child came, it would trigger her memory. Chapter 788. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing noticed something. You don't want to? I'm feeling conflicted. I want to see them, but I'm afraid to, Baiya said honestly. You'll have to see them eventually, Gu Lingqing said. She could tell that he wanted her to see them. Since he was so calm, did that mean that their past was actually good? Baiya smiled and repeated his words. Yes, you'll have to see them eventually. What are you going to do with the fish over there? Gu Lingqing changed the topic. Baiya looked at the fish she was preparing. I'm going to make teppanyaki. I've already marinated it. The fish should be very tender. Wait a moment. She found her bag and found a round piece of iron inside. This can be used to make teppanyaki. I've made it before when I was alone at home. It's not bad. Put it on a rock first. It'll be hot soon, Baiya explained. She washed the iron plate first and put it on the rock. She washed the marinated fish, brushed a little oil on the iron plate and put the fish on it. The fish turned white in a while. She sprinkled some seasoning on it and put a piece of fish into Gu Lingqing's bowl. Try it. It looks like a barbecue on paper. It looks good. Gu Lingqing took a bite and nodded. It tastes good too. Baiya smiled. I like to eat fish. When I'm alone at home, I make fish like this too. One person can eat an entire crucian carp. Shosho likes to eat fish too. That's like you. Then you must get rid of the fish bones. Oh yeah, there's a type of fish called ong. It's delicious and nutritious. It's delicious in soup or tofu, Baiya suggested. Gu Lingqing smiled. Shosho likes to eat this type of fish the most. One person can eat 3 of them. Baiya responded. She didn't know why, but her heart was filled with warmth when she heard Gu Lingqing say that. She continued to fish. Gu Lingqing looked at the pot. The chicken soup should be almost done. If I keep cooking, there will be no soup left. Yes. I'll do it, said Baiya. Let me fill it up. Be careful, it's hot. Gu Lingqing took her bowl, filled it up, and handed it to her. Baiya saw a car driving over. Someone's coming. Gu Lingqing looked over and saw that there were quite a few cars, 3 of them. Do people come here often? I think so. I came here last time with a friend, Baiya said. The car stopped, and a blonde American man got out of the car. When he saw Baiya, he took the initiative to greet him. Baiya, you're here. What a coincidence. Yeah, Benny, have you had dinner? Baiya asked. Benny shook his head. We drove for 2 hours, so we don't have any yet. But we bought a lot of barbecue, so it's convenient. Benny's gaze fell on Gu Lingqing's face. Boyfriend? Yes, Baiya admitted. Then let's get busy. We'll talk later, Benny said. Benny said as he led the other 7 people to set up tents and start a fire. He's my classmate from America. He studied psychology too. After he finished his studies, he went back home and started a company in the red wine business. The business is quite good, Baiya said to Gu Lingqing. And Gu Lingqing replied. He looked at Baiya deeply. In fact, he didn't like it when others came to ruin their world. Next time, we'll continue to look for a better place. Baiya nodded and ate the chicken in her bowl. Benny walked over and said to Baiya and Gu Lingqing. They asked me to invite you over. Baiya remembered that she came with Benny and his friends last time. Although the people this time were different, they were still Benny's friends. Sure, I have grilled fish here. There's a lot of it. Let them eat first. Baiya gave them 16 skewers of grilled fish. Benny took them and distributed them to his friends. Benny walked over and looked at Baiya's pot. You brought a pot? It smells good. Is it chicken? You even brought a chicken here? Gu Lingqing understood what Benny meant. Do you have bowls? Come and get a bowl. But the 8 of you might not be enough. This chicken isn't very big. It's enough. I have disposable bowls. I'll let them eat first to fill their hunger. Later, when we get the barbecue, we can eat together, Benny said and waved his hands at his friends. When they all got a bowl, the pot was gone. Gu Lingqing looked at Baiya. Are you full? It's okay. It's like eating barbecue later. How about you? Are you full? Baiya asked. I ate a lot of fish. Plus, there's still some fish fillets. Just as Gu Lingqing finished speaking, Benny appeared behind them again. Can we try that fish fillet of yours? It smells really good. Oh. Baiya answered casually. Benny's friends lined up again, but there weren't many fish fillets left. They only had a few pieces each. Gu Lingqing and Baiya were gone again. Baiya looked at the grilled fish. Luckily, there were still a few left. Benny's friends didn't ask and took them all. Baiya was speechless. Gu Lingqing looked at Baiya. I'm going to clean up and pack up. I'll bring you somewhere. Okay. I'll clean up. I'm good at it, Baiya said. She took the pot and went to the lake to clean it. Gu Lingqing didn't stop her and tore down the tent. Are you guys leaving now? Benny asked. Gu Lingqing nodded. We're going somewhere else tonight. Can you leave it for us? It's not convenient for us to have a man and a woman. It'll be convenient with this, Benny said. I'm sorry. I'm afraid it's not convenient. We'll need it when we go somewhere else. Gu Lingqing rejected him directly. Oh. Benny's expression was a bit sour. He saw Baiya wash the dishes and pot and said, Baiya, can you lend us this pot? We still need it tomorrow. Gu Lingqing rejected on behalf of Baiya. Benny was speechless. What about the fishing tools? You're not going to fish tomorrow, are you? Benny asked. We do need to fish tomorrow. I'm sorry. Gu Lingqing rejected them all. You don't want the fish, right? I see there's a big carp in the tank, Benny said. Indeed, I can give it to you. Take it, Gu Lingqing said. Gu Lingqing said. He watched as Benny grabbed the fish in the water tank and walked into the group of friends. Gu Lingqing organized the things and Baiya helped. In the end, when Gu Lingqing went to remove the trap in the lake, he found a surprise. Xiaoya, take the tank. Chapter 789. Gu Lingqing caught a fish that was more than a foot long. Wow, this fish is delicious, Baiya exclaimed. Gu Lingqing caught another perch more than a foot long. Baiya was pleasantly surprised. Gu Lingqing caught 3 in total. Seeing this, Benny and his friends walked over. Gu Lingqing dismantled the trap. Benny's friend whispered something to Benny. Benny walked over and said, You're still fishing tomorrow, right? Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. We're fishing tomorrow, Gu Lingqing answered. Then give us these fish. We have a lot of people, so we can finish them, Benny said. We're going to fish from the sea tomorrow, so we still need these freshwater fish. I'm sorry, Gu Lingqing refused. Benny was speechless. Why are you so stingy? These fish are from the lake, and you're not even willing to give them to us? It's not like we're asking for your money, Benny's friend A said. Gu Lingqing ignored him and carried the box to the car. Baiya, you're not a good boyfriend. You don't know how to behave, Benny provoked. Before, Baiya wasn't angry. She didn't want to reject them when they asked for something, so she just let them take it. However, provoking them was a bit too much. Then do you know how to behave? Baiya's face turned cold and she asked back. Benny paused. What do you mean? Benny's friend said angrily. He asked us for things again and scolded us if we didn't give it to him. He's protecting my things. Why doesn't he know how to behave? Does he have to give it to you? Baiya said coldly. Yo, you be asterisk tch. We gave you some face, but you really think you're a son of a b asterisk tch. We're taking these fish. I advise you to leave the fish, or else you'll have bones to eat today, Benny's friend A said bossily. Gu Lingqing saw them bullying Baiya, so she immediately went over and protected Baiya behind her. Do you think it's useful to have a man? There are 8 of us here. Since we like your fish, we will give you face. Leave the fish and get lost, Benny's friend A said. Benny, your friend is this kind of person. Can't you tell the good from the bad? Baiya said sternly. Benny also felt that it was too much. Forget it, we can catch the fish ourselves. I want this fish today, Benny's friend A said, looking at Benny's other friends. Some of his friends rolled up their sleeves, while others took out iron rods from their cars. Gu Lingqing, let's go. Baiya was worried about Gu Lingqing. Xiaoye, wait for me in the car, said Gu Lingqing. But you, Ting Hua, I'll be fine. Gu Lingqing promised, his sharp gaze sweeping across them. Baiya wanted to get a weapon from the car to help Gu Lingqing, so she walked towards the car. The man with the iron rod hit Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing dashed forward and hit the man's armpit. The man retreated a few meters and knelt on the ground. The others saw that their friend was hit, so they joined in. In just 5 minutes, everyone was on the ground, except for Benny, who hadn't made a move. Baiya wanted to help, but it seemed that she didn't need to do anything. When they were on the sea, she could feel that he was very good. There were more than 10 of them, and they were all good at swimming, but they couldn't beat him, let alone on land. But she didn't expect that he was so good behind him. In an instant, he had beaten the other party. Benny's face was pale, and the corner of his mouth twitched. We're all friends. Benny, you'll be marked by the company you keep. You study psychology too. You know what kind of person they are, and what kind of consequences they will bring you. You're on your own, said Baiya. She turned around and left with Gu Lingqing. The sky was already dark. After the fight just now, their emotions were still agitated, and neither of them spoke. Half an hour later, Baiya spoke first. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Those people appeared suddenly. There are many accidents in life, and we can't control them. What we can do is to stay together and overcome all difficulties together, Gu Lingqing said meaningfully. Baiya was an extremely smart person. She understood what he meant. Was it an accident that we separated? Yes, there was a bullet in the back of my head. You thought I would definitely die, said Gu Lingqing. His eyes darkened, and there was a faint mist in them. He didn't want to talk anymore. He looked at the front and pursed his lips. Baiya was also faintly sad. She skipped this heavy topic. Where are you taking me? That place is a bit far. You sleep for a while. I'll wake you up when we get there, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Baiya put down the chair and closed her eyes. Gu Lingqing stopped the car and rearranged the things. He put down all the chairs at the back and made a bed. You sleep at the back. It'll be more comfortable. Remember to cover yourself with a blanket, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Baiya lay down at the back. Gu Lingqing covered Baiya with a blanket. He drove and made the window smaller. They continued driving. Because she had been busy the whole day, she was also a little tired. She closed her eyes and fell asleep soon. Gu Lingqing drove for 5 hours. It was almost 12 o'clock when they reached the destination. It was too late. He didn't make the tent. He put the luggage on the passenger seat. Baiya opened her eyes. Are we there? Yeah, we'll make do for today. We'll sleep in the car, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Baiya closed her eyes and continued to sleep in a daze. The next day, she heard birds chirping. When she opened her eyes, the sky was just getting brighter. Gu Lingqing was sleeping beside her. He slept late last night. She didn't wake him up and let him continue sleeping. When she opened the back door, she was stunned by what she saw. They drove to the top of the mountain. At first glance, there was a huge sea. In front of the sea was a green book. Above the green trees was mist. This scene was like a fairyland. It was too beautiful. It was so beautiful that her eyes were wet. Gu Lingqing got up and sat beside her. He said in a hoarse voice, Morning. I'm sorry I woke you up. Sleep a little more. It's still early, said Baiya. Gu Lingqing looked at the time on his watch. It's okay. This bit of time is enough. How did you find this place? It's so beautiful. It's 100 times more beautiful than the previous place. Compared to this place, the previous place could only be considered a leisure place, said Baiya. A long time ago, when I was on a mission, I stopped here for a short while. I felt that this place is very beautiful. When the sun comes out later, you can see the colorful red in the mist below, said Gu Lingqing as he got out of the car. Chapter 790. Gu Lingqing put the tent under the shade of a tree and built a stone stove with stones. Baya went over to help inside. The only flaw is that there is no lake. Gu Lingqing smiled. Do you see the beach over there? If we have time, we can climb down there. It will take us about 2 hours, but we have to leave in the afternoon. So, we can go there on our next vacation. Yeah, it's so beautiful here. It's enjoyable to rest in such an environment. You rest for a while. I'll call you when I'm done with breakfast, Gu Lingqing said. I'm good at cooking. Do you have any noodles? There's still some left. Let's just have breakfast and have a good lunch. Then we'll go back. Baya let Gu Lingqing do the cleaning when she was doing breakfast. She went to find some wood and branches. She sharpened the top of the branches and washed them with water. The sun rose. She put down her work and walked to the side. The sky was red at first. The sun shone through the clouds. White light could be seen clearly. It seemed to be very close. All of a sudden, the sun seemed to jump out of the clouds. A rainbow really did appear above the forest, and the mist rose. Nature is amazing. Baya sighed. Gu Lingqing looked at her and held her hand. From now on, we'll be together every day. We'll watch the sunrise together. We'll make breakfast together. We'll have lunch together. We'll have dinner together. We'll take a walk together and sleep together. We'll grow old slowly. It was supposed to be very simple, but when it came out of Gu Lingqing's mouth, she felt very warm and happy. After watching the sunrise, Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. He looked at her as well and smiled slightly. I want to drink fish soup at noon, and then skewer the chicken. I think the grilled fish yesterday was delicious. Can I make that? Gu Lingqing asked. Of course. They brought a lot of water. It was enough to make a meal. After dinner, Baya and Gu Lingqing were resting in the tent. Gu Lingqing, there's one more thing in my heart, Baya said softly. What? Gu Lingqing turned around and looked at her. I want to see Lu Shuang, but I'm afraid to see her. It feels like I owe her something, but I can't remember what it is. Do you know what I owe her? Baya asked softly. Gu Lingqing nodded. Why? Baya asked. Lu Shuang and Shen Yan are a couple. Do you remember that? Gu Lingqing asked. Baya shook her head. She seemed to have forgotten 80% of the things in the past. Didn't Lu Shuang not like Shen Yan? Then he liked Shen Yan. You helped him get rid of Sheng Dongcheng and Zhuochuani. Shen Yan could have been the president, but because of Lu Shuang he failed. Buhua became the president. You told Buhua to let Shen Yan go after a year, and let him reunite with Lu Shuang, Gu Lingqing explained. Has Shen Yan been let go? Baya asked curiously. No. Is it because it hasn't been a year? Gu Lingqing was silent and didn't say anything. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. It's been more than a year. It's just that he hasn't been let go for some reason. If he hasn't been let go for a year, then he won't be let go in the future. Buhua was worried that Shen Yan would cause a bloodbath if he went out. Plus you weren't here, so? Baya closed her eyes. Actually, she knew that politics was just that cruel. There was an idiom about enduring hardships. After King Gojian was captured by King Wu, he lay on a haystack and suffered. He told himself that his life was tough, and that he had to be patient and not forget about his current life. He was King Wu's groom and kept a low profile. He didn't resist at all. After King Wu let him go, he destroyed Wu country. Hence, he didn't let go because he was afraid. The more he was afraid, the more he was afraid. The future was always unpredictable. Gu Lingqing, let's go back, Baya said. Ha. Now. It's still early. We can rest for a while after we wake up, Gu Lingqing said. Baya sat up and looked at Gu Lingqing. I'm not talking about going back to America. I'm talking about going back to country A. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply and sat up slowly. Have you thought it through? Baya nodded. Do everything you can to improve the military. Even if Shen Yan is released because of you, the president can still sit on the throne. You hate being involved in politics the most, Gu Lingqing reminded her. People change. They change according to the environment, mentality, situation, and status. I don't know why I hated politics so much. But if Lu Shuang likes Shen Yan, I should be on good terms with Shen Yan. I want to save Shen Yan. You've always wanted to save Shen Yan. Baya held Gu Lingqing's hand. You're a soldier. You have your duty to protect the country. The blood of a soldier flows in your veins. It's because you gave up what you love. Because you're my favorite, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice, looking at her with a burning gaze. She believed that his eyes were sincere, deep and calm. Faintly, there was a hint of sadness and caution. She must have hurt him badly. I still have my child in country, eh? I don't know why I gave up everything and left. But now I can't let go of my child. So I want to go back to country, eh? Baya said. When do you want to go back? I want to finish all the cases on hand. Otherwise, it's not suitable for them to follow me to country, eh? My senior will come back to America in a few days to help me manage the clinic. Can you help with Cheong's contract? Baya asked. It's fine as long as I don't withdraw my investment. Cheong will give me face, Gu Lingqing said with certainty. Well, then there's no problem. Baya lay down. Gu Lingqing lay down too and used his arm as a pillow for her. Baya turned over, put her hand on his waist, and closed her eyes. People were strange. When she had nothing in her heart, she would be very calm, and her life would be dull and carefree. All she could do was smile and watch the leaves fall in the courtyard. She wanted to empty herself, not think about anything, live a simple life, and avoid loneliness. She wanted to be strong enough that she didn't need anyone's company. But there was always a place in her heart that was very empty. Sometimes she felt inexplicably melancholic. When she had Gu Lingqing in her heart, she knew that there would be a lot of trouble and tiredness in the future. But she still wanted to give it a try. There was no next life, but she would not let down this life. She just hoped that there was nothing in her past that she couldn't bear. Chapter 791. They went back at 3 in the afternoon. When they reached home, it was already 7:30. After returning home, Baya cooked and cleaned the house. Gu Lingqing went back to see Little White and fed him. Little White barked in hunger. Gu Lingqing patted Little White's head. His eyes were filled with pity. I'll bring you wherever I go in the future. Woof woof. Little White barked. Let's go to your real owner's house. Gu Lingqing placed the dog cage in the car and brought the dog with him. He drove to Baya's house. Baya was still cleaning the house. Gu Lingqing placed the kennel in the backyard and helped Baya water the flowers. Baya stood beside him and looked at the flowers that she had taken care of. They are the ones that I can't bear to leave. You can let your seniors live in the house. Firstly, they can help you open the house. Secondly, they can help you take care of the flowers and plants, Gu Lingqing suggested. Good idea, Baya replied. Come over for dinner later. We'll have egg fried rice tonight. Baya said and turned around. Woof woof. Little White saw Baya and barked at Baya. Baya saw Little White and was surprised. You brought him here. Baya squatted down. Little White ran towards her and came to her hand. Baya scratched Little White's chin. Little White squinted his eyes comfortably. Baya was happy too. She smiled and stood up. I'll go back to cook first. Gu Lingqing nodded. She went in and made a simple egg fried rice. She put diced chicken and eggs, shredded potatoes and green peppers. At night, Gu Lingqing stayed at Baya's house. They went to bed early as they were tired from the journey. The next morning, Baya woke up at 6 and realized that Gu Lingqing was no longer by her side. She woke up early, but Gu Lingqing was even earlier than her. She opened the window and saw Gu Lingqing practicing boxing in the backyard. She smiled. After brushing her teeth and washing up, she changed into casual sportswear and ran to him in the backyard. When a martial artist was training, even the person closest to him shouldn't stand behind him. It was muscle memory, and he might be accidentally injured. She had to stand in front of him and learn from his moves. And learn from him. Gu Lingqing looked at her well-behaved manner and raised a faint smile. His movements were firm, and his eyes were gentle. He made a move and stopped. Baya imitated his moves and stopped moving. Gu Lingqing held her hand and corrected her posture. The temperature of his palms was very high. Due to long-term training in martial arts and holding a gun, his palms had calluses. When he held her hand, she could feel the roughness. But it was precisely this kind of man that made people feel very safe and warm in their hearts. She was a smart person and had a strong ability to understand. She could do it right after he taught her once. Gu Lingqing touched her nose and said lovingly, "Smart." Continue. Baiya said and continued to learn. It has been 2 hours since a set of Wing Chun boxing was finished. Baiya was sweating. "I'm going to take a shower first. I'll come back tonight and continue." "Okay." Gu Lingqing nodded. As soon as she walked into the living room, she heard her phone ringing. She picked up her phone and found that Shen had called her 3 times. She was practicing martial arts in the backyard, so she didn't hear it. She answered the phone. "Baiya, can you come to the police station in the morning?" Shen asked. "I have a patient at 9 o'clock, so I have to arrive at 10:30. You'd better remember my schedule in the future." Baiya reminded him. "We found a very important piece of information, but we can't be sure if it's the murderer," Shen explained. "You don't have to call me so early if it's something important or urgent. I won't change my schedule unless it's urgent. Do you understand? See you at 10:30, Baiya said and hung up. She looked at the time. It was already 8:25. She had to take a shower quickly and buy some bread on the way to the clinic. Otherwise, she would be late. She walked into the bathroom, took a shower, and saw the steamed buns on the table. She was surprised. "Where did you buy this? There are also shops open by people from country A." Gu Lingqing explained. "You can have a simple meal. It will only take 10 minutes for me to take you to the clinic. You still have 10 minutes for breakfast. You won't be late." "Did you buy it nearby? Why didn't I find such a shop?" Baiya said in surprise. She went to the kitchen and poured some vinegar. "No, it's a little far. It takes about 20 minutes to get there." So, Baiya was even more curious. "You went there by rocket?" Gu Lingqing was amused by her. "I bought it at 5:30 and left it on the table. You woke up late, so I didn't wake you. When you went to take a shower just now, you found it cold, so I went to heat it up." Ah, Baiya understood. She was in a hurry to practice martial arts with him, so she didn't notice the steamed buns and tofu putting on the table. She answered the phone just now and was in a hurry to take a shower, so she still didn't see the steamed buns. Previously, when she was researching the brain's heaviness, she discovered that when one's attention was focused on one place, everything else around them would be ignored. Everything would be frozen on the computer screen like a photo, but the only thing that could be remembered was what they saw when they were focused on it at that time. At this time, hypnosis is to let the subconscious enter the frozen image. The information may be vague, but it can find some images that we can't remember. So she was like this just now. There were steamed buns in her sight, but because she was focused on other things, the steamed buns were ignored. She quickly finished her breakfast, and Gu Lingqing sent her to the clinic. In the future, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is eat breakfast. Otherwise, eating too fast is not good for the stomach, Gu Lingqing said. Yes, it takes 28 days to form a habit. When I go back, I need to make a new plan. I want to practice martial arts, and I want to continue taking care of flowers and plants. I'll go to your military base and be in charge of psychology. I'll take care of our child. That's good. Gu Lingqing didn't reply, but his gaze softened. This kind of date was indeed good, and it was the life of his dreams. After a while, Baiya arrived at the clinic. It was 2 minutes to 9, and the little boy was already there. Baiya smiled at him. Come with me. The little boy locked his eyes with Baiya and went to the treatment room. Baiya poured him a glass of water and sat opposite him. Have you seen that man recently? The little boy shook his head. Ever since I chatted with you, I'm not afraid of him anymore, but he doesn't appear anymore. I don't think I'll see him again, right? Not necessarily. When your willpower is not strong enough, he'll come out. But when he comes out, you don't have to be afraid. Try your best to stare at him. Look at the illogical parts of him, and you'll know that this person is actually vulnerable. You can make him disappear with just your mind. He's fake, and he doesn't have any strength, Baiya said with a smile. Not only will you not live, but you will also live in fear before you die. The only one who can save you now is me. Baya said, staring at him sharply. I don't believe you. My treatment process here is recorded. Baya opened the pinhole camera installed on the sofa. Your every move has been recorded and uploaded. If you kill me, everyone will know that you did it. You won't be able to escape. However, as long as you leave Garen, he will be safe. Garen stared at Baya. Baya looked back at him calmly. I still don't believe you. You should believe me. After all, after I found out that you were a murderer, I didn't abandon you. Instead, I stayed here with you and helped you. If I wanted to harm you, you would be finished if you left now. Right, Galen? Baya said. Galen's gaze loosened a little. Galen, if you can't defeat evil, you can only be destroyed. The evil now isn't protecting you, but harming you. Galen stared at Baya. Think about it. Without evil, you can live like a normal child. With evil, you will soon become a prisoner. Baya guided. Galen looked at Baya in a daze. His eyes flickered intensely. You know what you should do. Do you see? This evil person is actually your evil thoughts. He is harming you and devouring you, Baya said. She watched as Galen fainted and lay on the sofa. She stared at Galen and said, When you hear the clapping, you can wake up. She clapped her hands. Galen opened his eyes and looked at Baya in a daze. Was that person me? What did you do to your stepmother? No. Tell me the truth. I'm helping you, Baya asked. My stepmother abused me. She made me wear a red dress, and then let her play with me on the bed. My father came back and killed her in anger, Galen said. You lied about the confession. Who was the other male victim? It was my stepmother's lover. They played with me. I was very scared. My father told me not to say, Galen said sadly. Baya understood. Many cases showed that many victims would become abusers. This was a form of emotional release. Galen knew that it wasn't good, so he split into a violent personality. He hated women, especially women who wanted to have sex with him. In the future, you will get better. You will know that the person is you. But you have to control it. You can't let it come out again. He will destroy you. If he didn't destroy you, you wouldn't have come here. Right, Galen? Baya said gently. Galen nodded. If you feel bored, go out and play basketball. Do what you like. You will achieve your goals. That is the right way to go, and you will find happiness. Can I come again next week? Galen asked in anticipation. My fees aren't low. Your mother found me to cure you. From this, you can see that she really loves you. Do you really want to hurt someone who loves you? You don't have to come here anymore. I will wait for you to grow up and become an outstanding person, Baya said with a smile. Galen was a little disappointed. Baya patted his shoulder. Aye boy. You have to become someone that others look up to and not look up to. Good luck. Galen nodded and became high-spirited. Good luck. Baya opened the door to send Galen off. She saw that Gu Lingqing was actually there. Did he not leave after sending her here? She smiled. She walked towards Gu Lingqing. You didn't leave? He replied in a low voice. Chapter 793. Gu Lingqing, Baya shouted. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. Baya smiled. I'll call Qiong now. Gu Lingqing looked at the time on his phone. That's good too. This way, we can eat with more peace of mind. Baya contacted Qiong and went to the police station. Shin called the others over and sent them the information. We found it. These girls went to XX Road together. This road leads to a remote beach. There's a large gap between the surveillance cameras on the road. AI Wei tracked the car of the last girl and realized that she passed some distance away from the person with the license plate number XXX01. We checked the car and found that the license plate was used. Hence, we suspect that there's something wrong with that person. That person is very cautious and is very familiar with XX Road. He knows where there are surveillance cameras and where there aren't. The girls he targeted have a few things in common. 1. They're all young. 2. They're all very pretty. 3. They don't have many friends. 4. They're materialistic. 5. They're rebellious. 6. They're too ambitious, Baya analyzed. So Baya, what do you think we should do next? Shin asked. Since we know which road he's been on, it'll be easy. We can find a pretty girl to lure the criminal, Howard suggested. Roy looked at Baiya. You're the only girl here. I don't agree, Gu Lingqing objected. It was too dangerous. He didn't want Baiya to commit such a crime. I don't fit the type of target that the murderer would choose. I don't fit the criteria. You can find one in the police station. I've told you the conditions, Baiya said rationally. All right, I'll look for one first. Then I'll lure the murderer. After that, we'll need your help, Baiya. Maybe it'll be during your working hours, Shen said. Baiya nodded. She had already treated all the patients in her clinic. She wouldn't be accepting any patients anymore. There should be time in the future. She would also leave after helping Cheong with the cases on hand. It was only 11 p.m. when they left the police station. Where are we going to eat? Asked Baiya. I remember you have a seafood restaurant. It tastes good. I have taken my friends there several times. They have become regulars there. Gu Lingqing said, holding Baiya's hand. After I leave, I still can't bear to part with this shop. When the time comes, I'll leave it to my senior to manage. If you like seafood, we can open a few after we go back. I'll find someone to take care of it. You can eat whatever you want. Just ask them to fly the freshest seafood over. I can still do that. Baiya smiled. In fact, she liked Seattle very much. She liked life and environment, and it was easier for her to get along with people. However, she still had her duty to do, and Gu Lingqing also had his duty to do. Perhaps after they retired, they could continue to live in Seattle. Baiya and Gu Lingqing went to the seafood restaurant. The waiter came up to them enthusiastically. What would you like to eat today? Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. 2 king crabs with cheese paella, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya nodded and gestured for the waiter to prepare. Even though it was noon, there were still many customers in the restaurant. There were 6 tables. At night, there would be a lot more customers than now. Baiya chose a table by the window and sat down. There was beautiful and light music playing in the restaurant. Coupled with the sound of the wind, the waves, and the seabirds, it felt quite good. It really felt like a restaurant by the sea. Do you know a girl called Ellie? She was a black man and used to be a secret agent. You should know her, right? She used to be in Team 11, Baiya asked. Yes, Cheong reported it to me, Gu Lingqing said. Later, she found someone to kidnap me. Do you know about this? Baiya asked again. Yes, Cheong will report to me as long as it's related to you, Gu Lingqing said calmly. Later, I saw her fighting with a man in front of my house. In the end, I think she was taken away by the man. Do you know about this? Baiya asked again. Yes, that man is Zhang Xingyu. He's my man. He's in charge of protecting you. Baiya suddenly understood. No wonder he appeared in time when she was almost raped in the parking lot. It turned out that he was protecting her in the dark. Where is Ellie now? Baiya asked in confusion. I remember you once said that people should be responsible for their own actions and pay the corresponding consequences. I didn't protect her and left her to fend for herself. She offended a few big bosses. I don't know what happened after that, but I can be sure that she can't hurt you now, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. His eyes were very deep, as if there was something hidden in them. Baiya was inexplicably flustered and didn't ask further. I was wondering why she didn't come to me for revenge. Both of them didn't speak. The atmosphere was a little strange and awkward. I was wondering why she didn't come to me for revenge. Baiya drank a mouthful of water. Both of them didn't speak, which made her feel uncomfortable. She found a topic and said, How many years have you practiced Kung Fu? I practiced when I was young. Have you practiced Tai Chi? When I saw the young Zhang Sanfeng, I felt that it was a very powerful Kung Fu. I saw a lot of old men practicing it in the park. No. Maybe I'll practice it when I'm older, Gu Lingqing said simply. Why do you have to wait until you're older to practice? Can't you practice it now? Baiya was curious. When he said that, she seemed to see that most of the people who practiced Tai Chi were old men, and there were fewer young people. Tai Chi pays attention to too many things. It's different from other Kung Fu practices. It's a combination of hardness and softness, and it can't be achieved in 1 or 2 years. Moreover, it requires talent. Some people without talent practice for 20 years, but it's useless. In the army, they will practice on strength and speed. It's more intuitive. As long as they work hard, they can achieve better results. Gu Lingqing explained patiently. Bai Ye nodded. I think I understand. Maybe I can practice it. If you want to practice, I know a master. His Tai Chi has reached the peak of perfection. Moreover, his meridian massage is also unparalleled. It's all about the internal meridian. The effect is very obvious, and it has something to do with medical students. I'll introduce him to you when I get back. He doesn't come out easily. You speak as if he's an immortal in the mountains. He pays attention to people and nature. I also met him when I was on a mission a long time ago. Gu Lingqing explained. While they were chatting, the king crab was ready. The waiter served several kinds of seasonings. The seasonings Bai Ye used were very special, so there were a lot of repeat customers. Moreover, he was considerate enough to send 2 pairs of scissors. Bai Ye went to pry open the pliers. Because it had just come out of the pot, it was still a little hot. She touched the pliers and retracted her hand. Gu Lingqing had already cut the meat off the leg and placed it on her plate. Chapter 794. Bai Ye was touched and looked at him. You eat too. When the king crab is cold, I can eat it. I'm quite good at eating king crab. I'll peel it for you. Gu Lingqing's simple sentence was a statement. It was irresistible. It was domineering and strong, but her heart was warm. Bai Ye didn't reject his kindness and ate the king crab. You eat too, Bai Ye said. Okay, Gu Lingqing answered. Bai Ye's king crab wasn't so hot. She cut it and ate it herself. It was a happy thing to chat with a friend while eating king crab. Have you told Qiong that we're leaving? Bai Ye asked. Not yet. I'm going to tell him tonight. Do you think he'll agree? We've helped him solve a few troublesome cases. Bai Ye took a sip and sucked the meat out of the crab's leg. It was especially delicious. He has to agree. After all, it's our freedom to stay or leave. Gu Lingqing said with certainty. She was relieved when he said that. If Qiong wanted to be promoted, the more strange cases he solved, the better. If they left, Qiong would lose his bargaining chip. He would definitely ask her to stay. But if she wanted to leave, Qiong wouldn't be able to stop her. After a while, the waiter brought the cheese paella over. There were squid and prawns in the paella. There was also nutritious and delicious caviar in it. It was very crispy. Actually, she was already full after eating half of it. However, it wasn't tiring to chat with Gu Lingqing. She quite liked this kind of life. When she was full, she would rest for a while. Although Gu Lingqing didn't talk much, no matter what she asked, he would answer her patiently. He knew a lot of things and was very knowledgeable. She had never heard of many things before, so she listened with great interest. Do you have anything to do in the afternoon? Gu Lingqing asked. I don't have anything to do in the afternoon. I have a patient tomorrow morning, but he hasn't looked for me recently. I'll give him a call later. Maybe I don't have to go tomorrow morning, so I'm free tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, a girl might come for hypnosis. I'll ask my assistant to call and ask, Bai Ye said. You don't see many patients. I didn't open a clinic to make money. I just don't want to be too bored. After all, this is my main profession. I don't want to waste it, nor do I want to work too hard. When we go back, I will arrange the corresponding work for you. The intensity will not be high. If you are tired, tell me and I will help you adjust, Gu Lingqing said. Let's support each other and improve together. Bai Ye finished the crab feet and started to eat the middle part. You don't seem to have eaten much. You should eat more. Bai Ye's phone rang. Seeing that it was Shen, she picked it up. Bai Ye, we've chosen a girl. Come over and take a look. See if she is suitable. Bai Ye felt that they were too dependent on her. Shen, I'll leave soon. You have to judge for yourselves. I can't be here all the time. What do you mean? You'll leave soon? Where are you going? Shen was shocked. Back to my country, Bai Ye said directly. Shen was stunned. Does Qiong know about this? Bai Ye glanced at Gu Lingqing. I don't know yet, but I'll know soon. I won't be coming over. Send me the video of the girl later. I'll have a look. Oh, okay. Shen hung up. I'll tell Cheong after dinner, Gu Lingqing said. Tell her. You're going to leave anyway. It's good to let them prepare in advance. Baya took a deep breath. She was too full. She lay on the sofa and tapped the table with her fingers. Oh, didn't you say that you have some problems in your heart? Do you want to tell me now? My problems are because of you. Since you're by my side, I naturally don't have any problems, Gu Lingqing said faintly, the corners of her lips curling up slightly. You're lying. You look a little uncomfortable. You're trying to hide it. You're smiling because you're uncomfortable. Don't you want to tell me? Baya asked again. Gu Lingqing nodded. Maybe. Xiaoya, I don't want to tell you yet. Can you give me some time? I don't want to tell you not because I want to hide it from you. I just don't want you to be troubled with me. But soon, I'll be able to solve all the problems. Baya looked at him. His eyes were deep, firm and distant. He was calm and reserved. It was hard to tell from his face, but it was also convincing. I'll give you a year. If you don't tell me after a year, I'll be angry. After that, I won't talk to you anymore, Baya said. Okay, let's make a deal. I'll tell you before November next year. After the meal, they went home together. Xiaobai heard the sound of the car from afar. He was exchanging in the backyard. Baya took the dog food to the backyard. Xiaobai stuck out his tongue, wagged his tail and ran back happily. Baya fed him the food. Xiaobai lowered his head and ate. Are you tired? If you're tired, take a nap. Gu Lingqing stood behind her and said. I didn't have the habit of taking a nap in the afternoon. Baya said. She looked at him and smiled. You can change your habits. If you have time to take a nap in the afternoon, you'll be especially energetic in the afternoon. It's also good for your body. It can let your muscles and bones rest. Rest for a while. I've already lit the incense for you, Gu Lingqing said. Baya took a deep breath and entered the house. The room was filled with her favorite smell and her favorite music. Listening to it made her feel at peace. It was as if she was standing in the center of the universe. She went back to her room to sleep. Gu Lingqing just sat at the head of her bed. Baya didn't understand and asked, Aren't you going to sleep? You sleep. I'll watch you sleep, Gu Lingqing said softly. Baya closed her eyes and soon fell asleep. After a long time, when she opened her eyes again, Gu Lingqing wasn't there. She shouted, Gu Lingqing. No one answered her. She felt uneasy. If Gu Lingqing was there, he would answer her and appear in front of her. She seemed to have seen this scene in her dreams. She got up from the bed, opened the door and looked downstairs. Gu Lingqing wasn't there. She walked to the backyard. Xiaobai was lying on the lawn and sleeping. There was no sound of Gu Lingqing. It was strange. If he went out he should have told her, shouldn't he? She called him. The phone rang 5 times before he answered. You're awake. His voice was deep and emotionless. It felt cold, and there was a chill in his tone. Where are you? Baya asked carefully. I have something to do. I'll be back in about half an hour. Is it inconvenient to talk about something? Baya asked. Chapter 795. After saying that, he hung up the phone. Baya's heart sank a little. She remembered that when she first saw Gu Lingqing, he seemed to be chased by some people. Could it be that his trip this time had something to do with these people? There were many mysteries about Gu Lingqing. She didn't understand and was afraid to understand. After so many years of studying psychology, she knew that the more you cared about something, the more you had to force yourself not to think about it and not to investigate it. The more you worried, the more you were afraid, the more you put your heart and soul on someone, the more you couldn't work. When you couldn't help him at all, you would become a burden to him. She got up and cleaned the house, but Gu Lingqing still didn't come back. People were really strange. She told Alan that if you found a person, this person could make you worry about him and make you unable to let go. Then you found the right person. However, when you really met such a person, it was hard to calm your heart. When that kind of heart-wrenching feeling was serious, you might as well live alone. At least, there were no times when you were sad, and there were no times when your heart would ache faintly. God was fair to everyone. When you didn't want to love, When there was no love, you could see more of the world. When there was love, you could only see and think of her. She was afraid that she would feel uncomfortable and call him, so she turned off her phone. She left her phone at home and went out with an umbrella. She went to the park for a walk, walked to the lake, bought a bag of fish food, and fed the fish. After a while, many goldfish came. They fought for food. There were more and more fish. Baya raised a smile, simple and happy. "Patron Bai," someone shouted. Baya turned around in surprise. It was a man in a monk's robe, with very white skin and a sincere smile on his face. His skin was very white, and he was handsome and kind. He made her feel very comfortable. He called her Patron Bai, so he should be someone who knew her. Unfortunately, she really forgot a lot. "Hello," Baya said with a smile. The ancient mage's smile became even brighter. "It seems that you have thought it through and are no longer obsessed." Baya's heart ached faintly. "I didn't figure it out. I just forgot a lot of things that I couldn't figure out." Grandmaster Gufa was very calm. "Do you regret it?" Baya shook her head. "I think that at that time, I must have been at a stage where I couldn't take it anymore. She forgot everything, so in exchange for the peace I have now, my state of mind changes according to the environment. Even a usually docile rabbit would reveal its ferocious side and bite people in a bad environment. My state of mind during that period of time should have collapsed. So I don't regret my choice at that time. It's just a process." "You've undergone nirvana," Master Gufa said happily. "Benefactor, you're the last person I've seen with the root of wisdom. You don't have to come and recruit me. Even if I do, I will be in a nunnery," Baya said jokingly. "Buddhism is just a formality. Buddha is in your heart, and you can cultivate Buddhism anywhere. It's fine as long as Benefactor Baya is happy." "Have you always been in the U.S.?" Baya asked curiously. "I'm here for academic research, so I'll be staying here for 2 days. Have you finished eating? Let me treat you to dinner." Baya invited. "It's okay, I'm a vegetarian. They've made arrangements. I just want to catch up with you and learn from you, Master." Master Gufa smiled. "Let's go then. I know of a restaurant opened by a Chinese, but it's a bit far. They grow their own vegetables and the vegetables are quite fresh. I wonder if you're busy tonight." "I can rest today. Master Gufa, wait for me on the road for 5 minutes. I'll go back and drive. Let's walk together. I've been walking for the whole day. I'm out for a walk because I want to relax." Master Gufa made a walking gesture. "Master, many people are troubled by love. Will they come to you for guidance?" Baya asked curiously. "It seems like you've forgotten a lot of things. I only show people according to fate. I only see 2 people a day. I won't see more than that," Master Gufa explained. "Among the people you see, is there anyone who is troubled by love?" Baya changed the way she asked. "Yes, you. You're the most troubled person I've ever seen. For love, you can stain your hands with blood. Fortunately, it's all for the sake of fame. So God is kind and gave you nirvana rebirth." "Stain my hands with blood?" Baya was shocked. Her eyes were filled with tears. Then she smiled. "I've forgotten about it too. Shengdongcheng, Zhuochuani's death was planned by you. You also contributed to Xing Buhua's rise to power. Have you forgotten about all these?" "Yes, I've forgotten about it." "No wonder there's no resentment, murderous intent, or hatred in your eyes. You're very peaceful. But are you still troubled by love?" Master Gufa asked softly. His voice was really pleasant to listen to. It was like the sound of nature imbued with the light of Buddha, making people feel relaxed both physically and mentally. Love is a very subtle thing. There's a limit to everything. The more you love, the more you pester, the more you care, and the more you force it, the further you can push the other party away. The right way to deal with it is to do your own thing and focus on yourself. Even if you care, you have to control yourself and be indifferent. This way, if the other party is comfortable with you, he'll never leave. Even if he leaves, it's okay because he's already used to living without him," Baya said calmly. "You've done well. You've done well in everything you do," Grandmaster Gufa said, pleased. Baya went home to get his car. Gu Lingqing wasn't back yet. In his heart, he felt a little disappointed. However, even if he was disappointed, it was useless. He couldn't change the situation, so he had to get used to it. Baya drove for more than an hour and stopped at a farm. Master Gufa followed Baya in to eat. The hostess was happy to see Baya. Dr. Bai. I'm here with my friends. I've made 5 vegetarian dishes. Do as you see fit. Baya handed it over to the hostess. All right, I'll go pick the vegetables now. Have a seat and have a cup of fruit tea. I made it this year, the hostess said and brewed them some fruit tea. Do you still want your fortunes read? Master Gufa asked. Baya shook her head. I don't want to. I can't force it. I'll just let nature take its course. I'll be at peace and live happily. Master Gufa smiled. You've reached nirvana. You're more enlightened than me. When you leave, bring some watermelons with you. They grow their own watermelons and they're really sweet. However, the watermelons now are too late. Next month, we'll only know about the watermelons in the greenhouse, Baya explained. She saw a familiar figure from the corner of her eyes, and she turned to look. Gu Lingqing stood at the door and looked at her with a burning gaze. Chapter 796. Baya had a sour feeling in his heart, but he did not show it. He smiled and asked, Why are you here? Gu Lingqing walked towards Baya. I've told you that my people have been protecting you. So I know where you've been and what you've been doing. Baya's heart sank. He felt annoyed as if he was being watched. Don't get anyone to follow me anymore. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm worried that something might happen to you. Gu Lingqing did not agree. Baya chuckled. Nothing will happen. If something happens, then it's fate. It doesn't matter. I care. Gu Lingqing stopped the topic with these 3 simple words and looked at Master Gufa. Master Gufa stood up with great self-restraint, nodded slightly to Gu Lingqing, and said, Almsgiver Gu, long time no see. Gu Lingqing also nodded at Master Gufa. Long time no see. The food here is delicious. Come and sit with us, Baya said to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing did not say anything. He sat next to Baya and picked up Baya's cup of tea. Master Gufa looked at Gu Lingqing and frowned. Baya noticed his expression and asked, What's wrong? Master Gufa smiled and shook his head. He did not want to say more. The 3 of them did not say anything. The atmosphere was tense. Baya took a deep breath. Suddenly, he did not have anything to say. He smiled and asked Master Gufa, Can I go when you're discussing Buddhist scriptures tomorrow? I think it'll be interesting. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. Baya noticed his gaze but pretended not to see it. Of course, Master Gufa said. Can you give me an address and time? I'll give you my phone number. You can contact me when the time comes, Master Gufan said. Baya smiled happily and took out his phone. Looks like today is a very lucky day for me to be able to get the master's phone number. Grandmaster Gufa also smiled. I look forward to your arrival tomorrow. Gu Lingqing's face became darker and darker. He drank all the water in Baya's cup. The first dish that the hostess brought over was a green pumpkin vine. Master, please enjoy, Baya invited. Master Gufa took a bite. It's really fresh. The hostess quickly brought over the tomato eggs and said to Master Gufan, I know that you Buddhists believe that egg yolk is meat and egg white is vegetable. These eggs are all fried with egg white. Thank you, benefactor. Grandmaster Gufa expressed his gratitude. You're welcome. It's what I should do. The hostess left happily. Master, have you eaten meat before? Baya asked curiously. I haven't. I was abandoned at the entrance of the temple when I was still a baby. It was my master who saved me, Master Gufa said. Do you want to eat meat? Baya asked again. Master Gufa smiled. I don't want to. Vegetables are enough to fill my stomach. Why would I want anything else? I can focus on other things. Eating is just to maintain one's basic skills. In fact, eating less is good for the body. Have you been in love before? Baya asked again. No, Master Gufa said with a smile. Have you thought about being in love before? Baya asked. I don't want to. My life is already very fulfilling. It's so fulfilling that I don't need anything else. Great love is more precious than love. I need more love to love others. Grandmaster Ancient Spell said. Baya carefully thought about what Master Gufa said. Great love is more precious than romantic love. Does she not have love? That's why she's worried about love. The hostess served the third dish, sweet potato leaves. This is a seasonal dish. It's only available now. After this season, it'll be very difficult to eat it, the hostess introduced. Okay, thank you. The hostess saw that another man had come. She was busy cooking and forgot to pour tea. She immediately prepared a cup for Gu Lingqing and a pot of fruit tea. Thank you, Baya said with a smile. The hostess was very happy too. She happily went to cook. During the meal, Baya and Master Gufa were the only ones chatting. Gu Lingqing sat at the side. He didn't touch the food or say anything. He just drank a lot of fruit tea. After the meal, they were going back. Gu Lingqing stood up and walked out of the door. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing and felt uncomfortable. She thought that she didn't do anything wrong. However, Gu Lingqing gave her a gloomy look, which made her very annoyed. After walking out of the door, she said to Gu Lingqing kindly, I drove my own car here. I'll send Master Gufa back later. Gu Lingqing gritted her teeth, turned her face away, got into her car, and drove away first. Baya sighed. She had guts. They felt like they were no longer in the same world. It was easy to fall in love, but difficult to get along. That was how it was. They would consume the love they had in the past in getting along until there was only mutual disgust, hatred, and annoyance left. In the end, they would go their separate ways and never see each other again. Perhaps, it would be the same for her and Gu Lingqing. Her usual job was to guess people's minds. She just wanted to live a casual life and breathe freely. Giving up might be a way out. She didn't think about anything for the time being. She got into her car, and Master Gufa sat next to her. He should be angry, Master Gufa said. Anger will hurt others and affect their mood, but in fact, the one who hurts the most is himself. If he can't get over it. Baya paused and didn't continue. It's strange. Your evil spirit has been eliminated, but Gu Lingqing's evil spirit is even stronger than it was 2 years ago. Master Gufa said as he looked ahead. Life is a kind of cultivation. If you cultivate well, you'll be able to see through love and make yourself and others feel comfortable. If you don't, you won't be able to grow. You'll be in a cycle of negative emotions. That's my opinion, Baya said. She took a deep breath and drove. It was already late. The street lights were turned on, and the flickering light fell on her elegant face. Master Gufa looked at Baya. Are you ready to give up? Baya smiled. Master, if you become a psychologist, your achievements will be higher than mine. You understand human nature better than I do, and you understand the law better. Chapter 797. Everyone had their own beliefs. Baya didn't question Master Gufa's beliefs. Perhaps she had done too many bad things in her previous life. That was why she was having such a hard time in this life. Perhaps if I pass through all the tribulations in this life, I'll be able to live a happy life in my next life, Baya joked. Suddenly something darted out. Baya was shocked and stopped the car. What's wrong? Master Gufa asked. I don't know. There seems to be something. Baya opened the door and walked out. She saw a woman lying on the ground. She was wearing tattered clothes and her eyes were filled with fear. Are you okay? Baya asked. Save me, the woman said anxiously. Get in the car, Baya said without thinking. The woman quickly stood up and wanted to get in Baya's car. Gu Lingqing was behind them. He stopped and said to the woman, Get in my car. The woman looked at Baya and Gu Lingqing. Then she got in Gu Lingqing's car. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything and drove away. Baya had a weird feeling. Then, she returned to the car. Benefactor Gu is a person who is very secretive, Grandmaster Gufa said. Yeah, he's very secretive. He doesn't show his thoughts on his face. I can't see through him. I might as well not try to see through him. Baya smiled. Master Gufa smiled. I'm looking forward to your arrival tomorrow. Maybe I can get a sponsor and build a nunnery on my mountain. Although we won't be under the same roof, We can talk about Buddhism often. It's a good thing. I'm tempted. There's a mountain, and it sounds great, Baya said, playing a Buddhist song. Master Gufa was surprised. You usually listen to this song? I listen to it often. It calms my mind and removes my fatigue. Baya took a deep breath and said, Yes, I think so too. Just put it in the park where you saw me, Master Archmage said. I'll send you directly to your place. I still have other things to do, Master Gufa said. Since he said so, Baya couldn't force him. She drove the Master of Ancient Magic to the park, and then drove back. Gu Lingqing was not back yet. When she heard Xiaobai's barking, she smiled and took the dog food to the backyard to feed Xiaobai. Little White wagged its tail as it ate. Baya rubbed Little White's head, and thought that it was too lonely in the backyard. She wanted to find a wife for it so that it wouldn't be lonely. After feeding Little White, she went back to her room. Just like how she used to live alone, she put on some beautiful music, lit up some aromatherapy, turned on the water, went to the bathroom to get a towel, took off her clothes, wrapped it around her and washed her clothes. The clothes were washed and the water was ready. She lay in the fish tank. Ever since Alan came, she hadn't had a good bath like this. It was so comfortable. Time trickled by. She heard a knock on the door. It was probably Gu Lingqing, but she couldn't be bothered. She didn't want to see him today. She would feel frustrated and uncomfortable. The sound outside the door disappeared, and Baya continued to soak in the water. With a click, the bathroom door opened. Baya turned around in surprise and looked at Gu Lingqing. I didn't give you the key. The moment she said that, Gu Lingqing's eyes darkened. The other meaning of that sentence was that she didn't open the door on purpose. His eyes darkened and he went out. Baya didn't care, and continued to soak in the bath. She didn't think about anything else. After another 10 minutes she got up, changed her clothes, dried her hair, and came out. Gu Lingqing sat on the sofa quietly and looked at him. His expression was much better now. He looked at her carefully and explained, I can come in without the key. Baya's lips twitched. This skill sounds a little scary. Gu Lingqing's heart was entangled by poisonous vines. It was sour and painful. She looked at Baya deeply. I thought you weren't back yet. I think that even a married couple needs personal space. What do you think? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing looked at her, and didn't say a word. His eyes darkened. I think it's a little tiring to be with you. You don't like to talk and I can't see you clearly. Gu Lingqing, you can go back first today. I want to rest alone. Is that okay? Baya said in a friendly tone. I'm sorry, Gu Lingqing said. Baya smiled. You didn't do me wrong. You have the right to do whatever you want. Gu Lingqing stood up and walked towards Baya. He hugged her and skipped thousands of words. He said in a low voice, Don't chase me away. Baya looked straight ahead. Perhaps she had endured a lot today, and wasn't in a good mood. She tried her best to control herself, but she couldn't say anything to make him stay. She felt that if he stayed today, she would be more depressed. The depression hadn't been resolved, and it would explode sooner or later. I'm sorry, please give me some time, Baya said firmly. Gu Lingqing's whole body froze, and he stood there stiffly. Baya pushed him away and opened the door. Gu Lingqing looked at her. Then keep your phone switched on at all times. Baya smiled and didn't say a word. Gu Lingqing walked towards the door dispiritedly. When he passed by her, he stopped and looked at her without saying a word. It's late, Baya reminded. Forgive me. Gu Lingqing said these 3 simple words. Baya smiled. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to put yourself in such a lowly position. You've already forgotten me. How can I not be lowly? You can let go and be carefree. How can I not be lowly? The next second you don't want me anymore. How can I not be lowly? Gu Lingqing was a little emotional. Her heart was squeezed tightly. Put your focus on yourself and do what you should do. That way, even if there's no one else, you'll still persist in doing what you want. Life is meaningful. In this world, it's not that you can't live without someone, Baya said coldly. My focus is you, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His gaze was firm and persistent. Baya smiled. She really felt that it was quite funny. She didn't want to say anything at first. She wanted to digest it tonight and continue to be in a good mood tomorrow. Chapter 798. Gu Lingqing's expression softened, and he looked at her with a burning gaze. I can explain. No need. I don't want to hear it. That's your business, Baiya said coldly. So you're kicking me out? Gu Lingqing frowned and asked. I wanted to think about our relationship, but I think there's no need to think about it anymore. You can think that I'm cold or heartless, but I'm just that kind of person. I'm not worthy of your love. Our relationship ends here. You said that we haven't divorced yet, so let's do it sometime. I don't want any of your assets. What about Shosho? You don't want it either? Gu Lingqing asked. The child is yours too. I believe that you'll be a good father. Meeting will just increase the sadness of parting. If we don't meet, everyone will be at peace. Everyone can be at peace. Gu Lingqing's eyes were bloodshot and he smiled bitterly. I'm afraid you're the only one who can be at peace. I won't get a divorce. I'll contact you tomorrow. Gu Lingqing didn't force her anymore. The more he forced her, the further she pushed him away. He left her house. Baiya closed the door, took a deep breath, and took another deep breath, trying to calm her irritable mood. She returned to her room and thought quietly. She finally understood why she would hypnotize herself back then. Gu Lingqing was too quiet. He didn't say anything and people couldn't guess what he was thinking. He was very irritated. When suppressed to a certain extent, anyone would explode. She closed her eyes and didn't turn on her phone to rest. He slept all the way until dawn. She looked at the time. It was 6:15 in the morning. She got up, brushed her teeth, washed up and went to the kitchen. She cooked the porridge first and went to the backyard to water the plants. When Xiaobai saw her, he immediately got up and ran to her side while wagging his tail. Baiya smiled and watered the plants. Xiaobai went over to bite the water and wet himself, which made Baiya laugh. After watering the plants, she fed Xiaobai dog food and went into the kitchen. She fried a poached egg, scooped some porridge and turned on the television. She watched TV as she ate breakfast. She felt that her current situation was pretty good. Her state of mind was peaceful, and she could watch the falling flowers with a smile. Her mood wasn't up and down, and her life was easy and comfortable. Even if she didn't have love, she still had great love. She could do more things outside of love, and not just focus on him. People should be happier the longer they live, and not always live among evil creatures. After breakfast, she looked at the time. It was time to go grocery shopping. She opened the door and saw Gu Lingqing standing at the door. He looked at her face carefully and smiled. Morning. She saw that he was still wearing yesterday's clothes, and his hair was still damp from the morning. His eyes were dark and bloodshot. Did you stay here all night? Gu Lingqing didn't answer. Are you going out to buy groceries now? Baiya nodded. Gu Lingqing wanted to say something but stopped himself. I'll go with you. It's okay. Go back and have a good rest. You look really tired, Baiya said with a smile. She walked past him and headed towards her car. The way she treated him was no different from the way she treated her neighbor. Gu Lingqing held her hand and frowned. His heart hurt as though it was being cut by a knife. He couldn't breathe and his breathing became heavier. I'll accompany you, he said again. It was a statement, and it was sonorous and forceful. Baiya looked at his hand and looked at his handsome face calmly. I'm just accompanying you for a while. Why force it? I can explain everything, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His eyes, which had always been resolute, became misty. He knew that she had made up her mind and pushed him out of her world. This was worse than killing him. The mist gathered. Gu Lingqing clenched his fists and looked at her deeply. Baiya thought of the scene when they were camping a few days ago. She felt warm in her heart, and her gaze loosened a little. However, she didn't want to change her decision easily. Why would I leave you? Baiya asked. Gu Lingqing pursed his lips and didn't say a word. He was afraid that if he said it, he would really be out of the game. So he chose to lie. You thought I was dead. Baiya lowered her eyes. Her heart ached. She didn't like this feeling. I'm going to the master's class today. I'll give you a final answer tomorrow, okay? Baya said calmly. Don't go, Gu Lingqing requested. He was angry yesterday. Firstly, Baya was chatting happily with other men and didn't care about him. He was jealous. Secondly, he felt that the master wanted to make her become a monk. That was why he was unhappy. In the end, he took the woman away because he was worried that the woman was pretending and would harm Baya. However, he had always been a man of action and not a man of words. He hated himself for being like this, because he had hurt her again and again. Baya stared at him. She saw fear in his eyes. The biggest weakness of a woman was being soft-hearted. Because of being soft-hearted, they would forgive mistakes. Because of being soft-hearted, they would forgive hurt. Because of being soft-hearted, they would force themselves. Because of being soft-hearted, they would muddle along. I want to go. I think it's very useful to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of woman I used to be to make you like me. However, I don't have my past memories. I'm a very selfish woman now. I just want to live for myself. I want to do what I want to do. I want to make friends that I want to make. I want to follow my heart. Gu Lingqing let go of his hand and slumped his shoulders. Baya walked past him and got into her car. She started the car and left. Gu Lingqing looked at her car sadly. Baya looked at him in the rearview mirror. When she met his affectionate gaze, her heart suddenly ached. She stopped the car by the side of the road. She covered her heart to cushion the pain. Gu Lingqing saw her stop the car and ran over worriedly. He opened the car door and asked anxiously, "What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. She saw his concern, fear and nervousness. "I'll send you to the hospital." Gu Lingqing hugged her waist and wanted to carry her. Baya held his arm. "I'm fine. Are you really okay?" Gu Lingqing looked at her face in disbelief. "I'm fine," Baya said with certainty. Gu Lingqing let go of his hand. "It's good that you're fine." "I'll leave then," Baya said and went to close the door. "If you're not feeling well, remember to tell me," Gu Lingqing reminded her. Baya replied casually. Gu Lingqing helped her close the door. Baya looked at him and drove away. When she came back after buying groceries, she saw Gu Lingqing still standing at the door of her house. He looked at her as she got out of the car. "You didn't sleep last night. Aren't you tired?" Baya asked. He knew that he would be eliminated soon. After being eliminated, he had not thought about his future life. He just wanted to see her when he could see her again. Chapter 799. His gaze made her feel sad and uncomfortable. However, since ancient times, it had always been easy to fall in love but difficult to get along. No matter how much a couple loved each other, they would forget how to love each other deeply. They would be burdened by daily necessities and the trivial matters of life. She had seen too much. Perhaps Baya had always been self-abased, timid, and fearful. Hence, when she encountered a problem, she would not face it but escape. She was that kind of person. You should go back and rest. Your health is the most important," Baya said gently. Gu Lingqing looked at her quietly. She did not say anything or move. She did not try to persuade her anymore. After putting the vegetables into the fridge, she called Zhang Luoyue's mother. "Luoyue has been in a good state of mind recently. He's in the middle of composing. I'll call Dr. Bai if I need anything," Zhang Luoyue's mother said. Baya was relieved. "Okay." She contacted Master Gufa and went to the hotel where he was having a talk. When she went out, Gu Lingqing was still there. She was a little annoyed. "You're already in your 30s. Why are you still like a child? What's the use of you standing at my door?" Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. Her heart was sour and bitter. She was not good with words. She had thousands of things to say but she could not say them. "Do whatever you want," Baya said helplessly. Then she drove away. When she arrived, Master Gufa and the rest were already preaching. She heard the Reverend Gufa say, "Because of love there is sorrow, because of love there is fear. If separated from love, there is no sorrow nor fear. Because of love there is resentment, because of love there is regret. If separated from love, there is no resentment nor regret. Because of love there is sorrow, Because of love there is pity. If separated from love, there is no sorrow nor pity. Because of love there is pain. Because of love there is fear. If separated from love, there is no pain nor fear. Isn't a person without love a cold person, a walking corpse? What about it? Great love. The old man asked. There are 8 types of sufferings in the world. Birth, aging, sickness and death, love, hate, and not being able to ask for what you want. The 5 Ein are flourishing. Everything is born from the heart, and the heart gives birth to thoughts. Thoughts are impermanent when they are calm. Understanding is like a celestial being. When one is calm, one can observe all living things. When one is old, one can receive all living things. Only after experiencing pain can one feel joy. How can an ancient master feel joy when he doesn't feel pain? A woman asked. No desires, no demands, tranquil and brilliant, jumping out of the world of mortals, able to observe all things. There is no sorrow, no pain, yet one can sense the world. Great Master Gufa said. Baya's mood calmed down. Every time she listened to the ancient master speak, she would feel more comfortable. It was as if she was looking at a glowing sarira, the spring breeze brushing past her cheeks, and the natural air between her nostrils could make her feel peaceful and serene. Someone sat down beside him. His aura was too strong. Baya's heart was pounding as she looked to the side. Gu Lingqing glanced at her, and didn't say anything. She looked at Master Gufa. Master Gufa also looked at Gu Lingqing. He nodded, smiled, and continued to discuss the Tao. If you become a monk, I will accompany you, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya glanced at him. Maybe it was because she loved him too much that she felt worry, fear, resentment, regret, sorrow, pity, pain, and fear. These 8 types of emotions appeared at the same time. After leaving him, she would return to her previous calmness. But if she wanted calmness, why would she agree to be with him? What exactly did she want? Master Gufa, there is something I don't understand. Deities can get married, so why can't Buddhas? A girl asked. Master Gufa laughed. It isn't that Buddhas can't get married, but they have seen through it, so they don't want to. As for deities, they were originally made up by the people of the world. They have a mysterious color to them. They are people's hopes for longevity, desire, and magic. Can people really enter the cycle and be reborn? The girl asked again. We don't know about the world after death. Maybe it really is possible. Now many scientists are researching that after death, people will become lighter. What is lighter might be the soul. Maybe in the future, science and exploration will tell us the answer. Now I just want to carry my faith and walk on, Master Gufa replied. The truth is often not important. What is important is what you believe in. I remember when I was young, I watched The Legend of the Condor Heroes. Someone said that Yang Kong didn't actually die. After he was buried, the soil absorbed the poison in his body and he came back to life. I always believed in it and even spread it everywhere, Baya said softly. Maybe Master Gufa's ears were sharp. He heard what Baya said. He looked at Baya and smiled. Baya smiled back. Gu Lingqing's gaze turned cold. He knew that he was jealous. He didn't like it when Baya smiled with other men, even if it was a monk. Maybe he pretended to be a monk and after he achieved his goal, he returned to normal life. They chatted for 4 hours. Baya listened patiently and realized that cultivating one's mind was similar to psychology. For example, when a person was hurt in love, Buddha said, "Let it go and you'll be free." You can go and do things of great love and forget about small things. For psychology students, when a person was hurt in love, what they had to do was to convince the person to let it go and do things that were more meaningful. Hence, whether it was cultivating Buddhism or looking for a psychologist, it was all for the sake of peace and tranquility. They wanted to not feel pain and live a happy life. They could smile at everything. As long as their state of mind was at peace, it didn't matter whether they let it go or not. She looked at Gu Lingqing. Lingqing, I'm hungry. Let's go home and have hot pot. I have a lot of ingredients in my fridge. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya in surprise. Baya smiled. Let's go. She stood up. Master Gufa walked in front of her. Almsgiver Bai, can we speak in private? Gu Lingqing instinctively stood in front of Baiya. He was very guarded. All right. Baiya agreed readily. She turned to look at Gu Lingqing. You drove here too, right? Go back and wait for me. I'll be back in a while. Gu Lingqing frowned. Baiya stroked his brows. I don't like it when you frown. Go back and wait for me. I'll wait for you, Gu Lingqing replied. Baiya followed Master Gufa to the room next door. What do you think? I think that in ancient times there weren't any psychologists. People would go to the temple if they were in pain. At that time, the temple became a place for men and women to solve their problems. One's appearance comes from the heart. With the guidance of Buddha, they would know how to let go of the pain in their hearts. So, this is how Buddha delivers salvation. What do you think? Baiya asked. This is a new idea. This is the first time I've heard someone say this to me. I feel comfortable talking to Master Gufa. Maybe you're my belief. Or maybe you're using your own method to enlighten me. I agree with many of your viewpoints, but there's one thing. I'm Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Jade Lake. Chapter 800. What? Master Gufa asked. Maybe it's because you grew up in the temple. You're very Buddha-like and your ability to comprehend things is also very high. But do you really want to live like this? After all, you haven't experienced love, friendship, and the busyness of life. Maybe, after experiencing all that, you'll be able to become a monk and not regret your life, Baiya said softly. Master Gufa pondered and looked at Baiya faintly. Have you comprehended love now? Just now, I looked at it from the perspective of someone involved. The more I put in, the more humble I become. I have to please him, approach him, and pester him. Right now, I love him less than he loves me. What's there for me to complain about? I was resentful, painful, sad, and timid before because I love him. Since I love him, why don't we overcome the difficulties together? What happens after we overcome the difficulties? Master Gufa asked. Baiya smiled slightly. You will enter a simple life of tea, rice, oil and salt. With a peaceful heart, you can still laugh and watch the flowers fall in the garden, right? Moreover, with someone to practice with, you will be more determined. Your comprehension is more thorough than mine. Cultivating together is better than cultivating alone, but it is also more difficult. It is also more difficult to grasp the degree of mastery. If we can cultivate together, then our lives really won't be in vain. Grandmaster Gufa laughed. I think I'll do my best in the future. Maybe I'm not done yet. It's too miserable for me to be alone, Baiya said. You can tell me if you need anything in the future. I'll definitely be there, Master Gufa promised. Thank you, Master. I should thank you for opening a new path for me. That's good. Then I'll go back first, Baiya said. Master Gufa nodded and saw her off. Baiya walked to the door and saw Gu Lingqing's car was still there. It was good if he could keep her company. She walked towards his car. When he saw her come out, he immediately got out of the car and looked at her worriedly. You've been with me for the past few days, but you were no longer with me when I woke up. That's why I'm angry and annoyed. Plus, you're not cold to me, so I don't want you anymore. You don't have to accompany me, but you have to let me know that the feeling of hesitation and ignorance is very uncomfortable. Can you do that? Asked Baiya. Gu Lingqing nodded. No, I wasn't cold to you. Do you think I learned psychology for nothing? I'm just jealous. Gu Lingqing's face was unusually red. Baiya pursed her lips and raised her chin. You're jealous of a monk. Do you want it? Let's go home and have hot pot. Get in your car. Huh. Gu Lingqing was pleasantly surprised. He thought that she had made up her mind after talking to Master Gufa. A smile appeared on his face. When Gu Lingqing smiled, he was really good-looking. It was like a celestial being. Baiya smiled as well. Previously, she pretended to be indifferent. Now that she looked calm, she still felt uncomfortable in her heart. Letting go did not mean letting go of her feelings. It also meant letting go of her obsession. She was tolerant, open-minded, and did not fuss about it. Her state of mind could still be at peace. Moreover, when she was with someone she loved, the calmness and ease after letting go was doubled. When they reached home, they were greeted by Xiao Bai's barking. I'm going to find a wife for Xiao Bai. What do you think? Asked Bai Ye as she unbuckled her seatbelt and got out of the car. Let's find one here when we get back. I'm afraid that they don't speak the same language. It'll be very troublesome, said Gu Lingqing seriously. Uft. Bai Ye was amused by him. Give me the car keys later. I'll get someone to drive your car back, said Gu Lingqing. Is that Zhang Xingyu still following me? Asked Bai Ye curiously. Gu Lingqing nodded. I can't let you be in any danger. If you don't like him, he doesn't have to report anything to me in the future. You can just report to me when you're in danger. Is that okay? Bai Ye nodded. He probably hasn't eaten yet. Ask him to join us for hot pot. In the future, we can let him stay at home. It's not good for him to be exposed outside. Almost all the people from the dark shadows are here. You don't have to worry, explained Gu Lingqing. She didn't remember the dark shadows. Go and feed Xiao Bai. I'll go and prepare the dishes, said Bai Ye as she entered the kitchen. Gu Lingqing went to feed Xiao Bai. Her preparation was simple. She prepared the meatballs that she made previously. As she cooked them, she washed all the vegetables. Gu Lingqing came in, washed his hands and looked at her. Do you want to catch a fish? We won't be eating fish for lunch. It takes some time to process it. You didn't sleep last night. Go and rest after eating. Your health is your capital. Don't do this again, said Bai Ye. However, she also realized that Gu Lingqing was very stubborn and wouldn't listen to her. If he wasn't guarding her, she might not have changed her mind. Therefore, people were contradictory. She was no exception. She hoped that he would like her and her heart ached for him. Because of her heart ached for him, she realized that she liked him. There was a knock on the door. Bai Ye looked at the door in surprise. Who is it? It should be Zhang Xingyu. I called him here, explained Gu Lingqing as he went to open the door. General. Zhang Xingyu handed over the key respectfully. Come in for lunch, said Gu Lingqing in a deep voice. Bai Ye saw Zhang Xingyu. This person had no memory at all. Zhang Xingyu saw Bai Ye too. His eyes were flickering. He didn't dare to open his eyes to look at Bai Ye. Did you do anything to me? Bai Ye asked. No. Of course not. How would I dare to? Zhang Xingyu said immediately and lowered his head. Even if you did something to me, you still felt guilty when you saw me. It means that you're not a bad person. So I forgive you, said Bai Ye. Really? Zhang Xingyu was surprised. Bai Ye smiled. So you did something wrong to me. Zhang Xingyu knew that he had fallen into a trap. He looked at Gu Lingqing. Back then, he relied on Xing Buhua and felt guilty towards you. But he came back to me, explained Gu Lingqing. Bai Ye nodded. Since you've forgiven him, I can't say anything else. Let's eat. I've prepared some noodles. If you're not full, you can eat them. Let me help you. Gu Lingqing went into the kitchen and helped Bai Ye bring out the pot. Other than vegetables, Bai Ye also prepared lamb rolls and beef rolls. They were frozen in the fridge. Zhang Xingyu licked his lips in hunger. I haven't had hot pot since I came to Seattle. I miss it a little. I especially miss the hot pot that Madam prepared for Chinese New Year 2 years ago. That meal was so satisfying. Eat more then, said Bai Ye. She took their bowls and sat down. Zhang Xingyu waited for Gu Lingqing to start eating before he started eating. Were you there when we went camping the day before yesterday? Asked Bai Ye. Her face was red. No, the chief told us not to follow you, said Zhang Xingyu. Oh. Bai Ye breathed a sigh of relief. After all, they did that in the wild. It would be embarrassing if they were heard. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow me on WeChat. Jade Lake. Chapter 801. Gu Lingqing glanced at Bai Ye. She prepared some lamb for Bai Ye and placed it on her plate. After dinner, Bai Ye let Gu Lingqing sleep while he let her accompany him. When they got onto the bed, he hugged her waist and fell asleep in a short while. Bai Ye laid on the bed and counted. All the other patients had been treated. There was only one girl who had fallen out of love the next afternoon. She got up. Her waist tightened. Gu Lingqing opened her eyes and asked in a deep voice, "Where are you going?" "I'm not going anywhere. I'll just stay at home. You can sleep for a while more," Baiya said. Gu Lingqing sat up. "Then I won't sleep. I'll wait for a while. It'll be night time and I can sleep at night." "I'm not going out. You can sleep. I'll wake you up," Baiya said. She looked at him expectantly. Gu Lingqing nodded. Baiya went out and called her assistant. "Ask the girl who wants to be hypnotized. Does she still want to be hypnotized?" "Okay," the assistant replied and hung up. Baiya went to the backyard and played with Little White for a while. She took a cushion and sat in the shade of the backyard. She smelled the flowers and felt the breeze. She enjoyed the beauty of nature. She was in deep thought. Her phone rang. She saw that it was the assistant and picked it up. "Dr. Bai, the girl committed suicide," the assistant said. "How could that be? Didn't you say that you wanted to hypnotize her?" Baiya asked in surprise. She had an argument with her family and was beaten by her father. In a fit of anger, she jumped out of the window, the assistant explained. Baiya's eyes darkened. The girl was already on the verge of a mental breakdown. Her father's beating made her feel that she had lost her family. She had no family, no love, and no friends. Thinking about it, she didn't want to continue living. In addition, she was impulsive and lost her young life. "Dr. Bai, there's no one on your schedule. Do you need me to book a few more patients for you?" the assistant asked. "Not at the moment. See if you want to book a few more," Baiya said with a smile. "Okay," the assistant replied and hung up. Baiya called Su Qinghe. "Senior, when are you coming?" "Next Monday. I'm going through the procedures now," Su Qinghe said. "Well, I'll leave all the clinics in the United States to you for the time being. I want to come back," Baiya said. "Ah, you're going back to America?" Qinghe was shocked. "Gu Lingqing and I are back together again. I'm back to face the problems left behind in the past. I have to solve the problems that should be solved and bear the responsibilities that should be borne." "Have you recovered your memory?" Su Qinghe asked in surprise. "No. Perhaps after returning to the country, after coming into contact with more people and things, my subconscious mind will be stimulated and my memories will be restored. There's no hurry. Since I'm here, I'll just take things as they come. No. Baiya." Baiya Danshan. Baiya smiled. "Yes. Atsuya." Baiya laughed. "Don't. I need you to take care of my house and clinic. You just need to bring your wife and children over. You'll have a place to live and a job. I think I'm taking advantage of you." "That's not all. I have a seafood restaurant for you to take care of. Just give me the money you earn." Baiya smiled. There were few advantages in life. She didn't care about the effort or the returns. She just wanted to let nature take its course. "You're my benefactor. I'll follow your lead in the future," Su Qinghe said. Baiya heard his child's voice. Daddies. She smiled. "Go and coax your child. I'll contact you when you're here." Baiya hung up. The house and career were all settled. There was also Joan's job. She continued to sit on the lawn and meditate. Her thoughts drifted. She was a little tired, so she lay on the mat, closed her eyes and slept. She woke up with a blanket over her body and a hand on her waist. When she turned around, Gu Lingqing had unknowingly fallen asleep next to her. She turned around and looked at Gu Lingqing. He opened his eyes slowly. It was quite comfortable to lie like that. She didn't say anything. She continued to close her eyes and lay down to rest. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything either. He stared at her peaceful face. Baiya lay for a while and couldn't fall asleep. She opened her eyes again and asked, "What time is it?" Gu Lingqing looked at the watch on his arm. "It's 17 o'clock. I've slept for so long." Baiya sat up, flipped her messy hair, and looked at Gu Lingqing. "What are we eating tonight?" "Anything is fine." "How about steamed pork with preserved vegetables?" Baiya asked. Gu Lingqing slightly raised the corner of his mouth. "Good. Xiaoya, I have something to do tonight. I might not come back." "What are you doing tonight?" Baiya asked in confusion. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. Baiya guessed that he had something he couldn't say. She smiled. "You don't have to tell me if it's inconvenient." Remember when I told you that I was shot in the back of my head and you thought I was dead? Gu Lingqing said. Baiya nodded. I found the legendary research organization and asked them to operate on me. The condition is that I help them destroy solder, Gu Lingqing explained. Solder? What's that? Baiya was confused. She had never heard of the name. A mafia. They wanted to destroy the research organization, but many of them survived. They were afraid that solder would hunt them down, so they asked me to destroy them, Gu Lingqing explained. Does solder know that you're the one who wants to destroy them? Baiya asked worriedly. They don't know. I've always been masked. Solder has connections with the government, so they won't do anything. If solder finds out that you're the one who did it, will it affect the country? No. The government also wants to destroy the organization, but they have something on solder. So it's safest for me to do it. You asked people to protect me because you're worried that I'll be the first to suffer if your identity is exposed. Baiya guessed. Gu Lingqing nodded. Destroying solder is something you have to do, right? Baiya asked. Gu Lingqing nodded again. Then go do it. Be careful. I don't want to see you get hurt. Gu Lingqing pressed the back of her head and kissed her lips. I have you. I don't dare to let myself get hurt. After I woke up, I told myself that I'll live for you in the future. I'll focus on you and only think from your perspective. You have to keep your promise. Don't let anything happen to yourself. Gu Lingqing nodded seriously. I'll go cook. When are you leaving tonight? Baiya asked. 10 o'clock. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Sleep well and don't worry about me. Otherwise I'll be worried, Gu Lingqing said. He didn't want to tell her before because he didn't want her to worry and lose sleep. Now that he told her, he was still worried that she wouldn't be able to sleep well. I'm Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Follow me on WeChat. Fairy Lake. Chapter 802. Baiya smiled. I know. I'll have a good sleep and wait for you to come back. Okay. Baiya went to the kitchen to prepare dinner while Gu Lingqing was having a meeting in the study. At first, there was no one around and it was peaceful. But suddenly 8 people appeared. Including Zhang Xingyu. There were 9 of them in the study. She thought that they would have to eat too, so she had to cook more. She went to catch the biggest fish and made braised fish, braised pork with preserved vegetables, pork knuckles, and 3 delicacies soup. She thought that there were too many people and it might not be enough, so she made beef with pickled cabbage, beef tenderloin with green peppers, and eggs with tomatoes. She cooked more rice and made it into egg fried rice. When everything was ready, it was already 7:30 at night. Gu Lingqing was still having a meeting. She went upstairs and knocked on the door. Come in, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Baiya paused for a moment. The voice seemed to fall on her heart, causing it to throb in circles. This scene was very familiar, and it felt very familiar. She pushed the door open and saw Gu Lingqing, who was standing in front of the crowd and talking about strategy. He was wearing a black suit. His eyes were cold and sharp, but when he looked at her, there was a layer of gentleness. You guys eat first. Even if you're going to do a mission, you need to eat to have the strength. We'll have the meeting after dinner, Baiya said gently. Okay. Gu Lingqing replied and walked towards Baiya. The others also stood up and walked outside. I've prepared dinner for you guys. Let's eat together, Baiya said. The others looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing nodded. The soldiers smiled and said, I haven't eaten Madam's cooking for a long time. I miss it. From what they said, Baiya could tell that they had eaten her cooking before. I've made a lot of fried rice, Baiya said. Wait a minute. Baiya served a pot of fried rice. There's more if it's not enough. I've cooked more. It'll be good when the time comes. Thank you, madam, said Zhang Xingyu. They sat down and ate. Baiya looked at the honest-looking soldiers and felt that this scene was familiar. After the meal, Gu Lingqing and the soldiers continued their meeting, while Baiya went to the kitchen to wash the dishes and do some cleaning. At 10 o'clock, they left on time. Gu Lingqing turned around and glanced at Baiya. She smiled and waved her hand. After they left, she habitually played elegant music, lit incense, practiced yoga, took a shower, went to bed, closed her eyes, and slept. She knew that she should sleep, but logic often couldn't overcome her emotions. She was still worried about him, afraid that something would happen to him. Time ticked by. She kept her eyes closed, but she didn't fall asleep. Unable to fall asleep, she got up, opened the curtains, stood by the window, looked outside, and waited quietly. When the sky started to brighten, she looked at the time. It was already 5:05 in the morning, but Gu Lingqing hadn't come back yet. He didn't come back. Her heart was in knots. She waited until 6 in the morning. The sky was already bright, but Gu Lingqing still hadn't come back. She went to cook breakfast. She was going to make porridge with pork and century eggs, water the flowers, and feed Little White. The sun came out, but Gu Lingqing still hadn't come back. Her heart ached. Suddenly, she heard the sound of a car outside. She put down the hose in her hand and ran to the door. When she opened the door, Gu Lingqing stood at the door. The sun was behind him, as though it was giving him a golden glow. He smiled at her. Baya jumped into his arms and hugged him tightly. His body was very wet, and there was no sweat on him. His clothes smelled of smoke, gunpowder, and the morning sun. Gu Lingqing hugged her back, lowered his head, and kissed her on the forehead. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. Did it go well? Very well. Solder was completely dismantled, Gu Lingqing said with a smile. Then have you paid off all the missions you owe? Baya asked with hope. Yes, Gu Lingqing replied. But 3 of my men were injured, so I came back a bit late. Are they badly injured? Baya asked worriedly. They're not in danger anymore. They just need to rest for a month or 2. I've already arranged it. Did you watch it at the research center? Yes, on the surface it's a research center for the brain, but it's actually one of my secret bases, Gu Lingqing explained. So solder was completely dismantled? Baya asked worriedly. Yes, they're all dismantled. There should be news in the morning. Their scandals will be reported. But to avoid trouble, I've blocked some content related to the government, Gu Lingqing explained. Baya nodded. Did your soldiers eat breakfast? They ate before they went back. They're resting in the base now. You ate too? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing shook his head. He knew that she would definitely prepare breakfast at home. He wanted to come back and eat with her. I made porridge with pork and century egg, Baya said with a smile. Gu Lingqing entered and asked. Did you sleep well last night? Baya paused. She didn't sleep at all. If she told him, he would be worried. If he encountered those things in the future, he wouldn't be able to carry out his mission properly. So she chose a white lie. I was fine, but I woke up a bit early. Eat the porridge with pork and century egg and go to sleep. I'll go get some for you. Baya went into the kitchen and got 2 bowls of porridge. I've completed my mission here. I'll tell Cheong that we're leaving today. Do you have any more patients to see? Gu Lingqing asked. He was already preparing to go back to China. I've seen all the patients on my side. I won't take the other patients for the time being. My senior is coming over on Monday, so I'll hand over all the patients on hand to him. Under normal circumstances, we'll be able to go back on Tuesday. Also, tell your mother not to come over. Since we've decided to go back, it's very tiring to catch a flight, especially when we have a child with us. Okay. I'll call them when I wake up, Gu Lingqing said. Baya saw that he didn't sleep the night before and the night before. He only slept for a few hours in the afternoon, so she didn't say anything else. She would talk about it after he woke up. Gu Lingqing finished his breakfast and looked at Baya. He looked into her eyes and his gaze deepened. He could tell if she had slept well or not last night. In the future, I'll try not to go on a mission for the whole night. Sleep with me later, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya smiled. Okay. Before going to bed, Gu Lingqing was worried that Cheong would call Baya and disturb her sleep. He turned off her cell phone, turned off his own, and closed the curtains. Baya fell asleep as soon as she touched the bed. She would only feel at ease when he came back. I am Chin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow me on WeChat. Fairy Lake. Chapter 803. Baiya woke up and opened her eyes. Gu Lingqing was not by her side. Her heart skipped a beat and she shouted, "Gu Lingqing." "I'm here," Gu Lingqing replied. He pushed the door open and looked at her. Baiya smiled when she saw him. "You only slept for a while?" "Not really." Gu Lingqing looked at his watch. "It's almost 16 o'clock now. I woke up a little earlier than you." "Ah, it's 16 o'clock. I slept for a long time." Baiya smiled awkwardly and got up. She went to the bathroom to brush her teeth and combed her hair. When she came out, she saw Gu Lingqing giving her a bowl of red bean soup. "Eat first. We'll go out to eat later. There's a movie on. Let's go watch it together," Gu Lingqing said. Baiya took the red bean soup from him and took a sip. The red beans were soft and sweet. It was delicious. "You cooked for a long time, right?" "I cooked it with a rice cooker. It didn't take much time." Gu Lingqing entered the kitchen and took a bowl for himself. Baiya looked at him. He had always been calm and resolute. Silence was golden. But wasn't life like this? They ate together and slept together. When he said that he was working, she listened patiently. When she was troubled, she could talk to him. Every day was ordinary. There was the company of her lover. There was food and drink. Wasn't this the life she had been pursuing? I read a book in the past. The book described that there was a place on Penglai Island that was heaven. There was a rock as big as a house. It could carry 100 people in the vast sky. There were also winged fish that could carry 1,000 people in the sea. The people there lived and worked in peace. They could taste the world's delicacies and do things that were blissful. It was warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Is it a fairy tale? Gu Lingqing asked cooperatively. We are the people who lived in this heaven. It was a place that many people in ancient times envied. The rock refers to planes and the winged fish refers to submarines, Baiya explained. Gu Lingqing nodded. Baiya held his hand. I'm not a parasite in your stomach. I can't read your mind. I'm your wife. I'm the one who will live with you for the rest of my life. We'll have to rely on each other even when we die. You must tell me if you need anything. I'll tell you if I need anything, Gu Lingqing promised. Baiya smiled. While getting love, she could also feel at peace, and she would feel like she had the whole world. After eating, she went upstairs to get her phone. When she turned it on, many calls came in. Some were from the clinic, some were from unknown numbers, and some were from the police station. She called the assistant at the clinic first. Dr. Bai, the patient you treated before came to thank you, but you weren't here, the assistant said. Bai, the assistant said. I tried to see the patients today and I came. And said. I tried to treat the patient today. It seems that the effect is not bad. If I don't understand, I will ask you again, the assistant said happily. Since you've started seeing patients, it's time to find an assistant for the clinic. Go and arrange it. Yes, thank you, Dr. Bai. Baiya hung up the phone and called an unfamiliar number back. Hello, I'm Baiya. Who is this? Hello, Dr. Bai. I was introduced by Mr. Chen Bin. My surname is Jiang, the doctor said politely. Chen Bin was one of her former patients. He mentioned Chen Bin's name. Baiya guessed that he was there to seek medical advice. As expected, the other party asked. I would like to consult you about some matters. That. I'm sorry it's like this. I won't be seeing patients for the time being. You should be from a country, right? I'll be going back to a country in a few days, Baiya said. That's great. I'm going back to country as soon. Can I make an appointment then? Mr. Jiang said. I will contact you after I return to China. I still have something to do here. I will hang up first. Baiya hung up the phone. After she returned to China, she would still become a psychiatrist. However, Gu Lingqing might arrange for her to work in the military. If she worked in the military, it would be inappropriate for her to receive patients from outside. However, Mr. Jiang was introduced by her former patient. If she didn't see him, she would probably refer him to someone else. In the end, she called the police station back. Baiya, you finally picked up the phone. Shen complained. Our people bumped into the murderer, and the two of them almost collided. After they got out of the car, the murderer was polite. He apologized to us and gave us a good impression, but they didn't even exchange phone numbers. What should we do next? It's normal that they didn't exchange phone numbers. We didn't find the same phone number in the previous victims' phones, Baya said. Then how will they contact each other next time? Didn't he like our people? Since he didn't exchange phone numbers with the previous victims, how will they contact each other again? Did we lock onto the wrong suspect? Shen was confused. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya and said in a deep voice, "The murderer has a high EQ and is very vigilant. He doesn't leave his phone number. He will follow his prey for a long time and make sure it's safe before he makes his move. He will create many coincidental encounters. Let AI Wei check if the murderer is following us." Baya reminded immediately. That's bad. Our people followed him back to the police station this afternoon. If he is following us, it means that the murderer already knows that our people are police officers. What should we do? Shen was worried. Let AI Wei check first. If it's confirmed that the murderer is following us, then our people will be exposed. The murderer will be alerted and won't do anything for a while. We're doomed, Shen said dejectedly. Not necessarily. We can let AI Wei track his whereabouts for 24 hours. Maybe he has a prey now. As long as we find out who his prey is, we can follow him further. It's more reliable than sending our people. That's the only thing we can do. Shen hung up. Baya sighed. I'm afraid this case won't be solved in a short time. It's similar to the previous case. We need to find the next time they commit the crime. I've already told Xiong that we're going to launch 11. The cases on hand are all waiting. There's no hurry. We can travel around before we go back. Can we go to Country D? I want to see Lu Shuang before I go back, Baya said. Gu Lingqing nodded. I can go with you tomorrow. Thinking that she might see Lu Shuang tomorrow, Baya became nervous. How was she doing now? If she was still waiting for Shen Yan, she would definitely save Shen Yan when she returned to Country A. She didn't have many friends, so she cherished them. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow me on WeChat. Jade Lake. Chapter 804. The days of leisure and companionship passed by quickly. In the blink of an eye, it was Monday. Baya and Gu Lingqing went to the airport to pick up Su Changhe and his wife. Their plane was not delayed and arrived in Seattle as usual. Su Changhe came out with 2 suitcases, a big backpack and a big bag. His wife came out with the child. Baya waved. Su Changhe smiled and saw Gu Lingqing beside Baya. He was stunned. He and Gu Lingqing had not seen each other for a few years. Back then it was just a glimpse. Now Gu Lingqing was still breathtakingly handsome. Moreover, time had been kind to this man. It seemed that he did not age even if his appearance did not change. He went forward and greeted Gu Lingqing. Hello. Gu Lingqing responded in a cold and callous manner. Student, get in the car first. Let's go eat first, Baya said and took the suitcase from Su Changhe. Gu Lingqing felt sorry for Baya and took the suitcase from Baya. Su Changhe's hands were empty. He helped his wife push the car and said, Jiao Jiao is still jet-lagged and has a headache. Let her sleep for a while. Okay, let's go back first and put the luggage away, Baya said. Gu Lingqing drove. Su Changhe's wife had a headache. She leaned against the chair and rested. Baya helped Su Changhe carry the child. His child was 2 years old and could talk. He was a little big and a little shy, but he always kept a little secret and was very cute. Call me Auntie, Baya said. Auntie has delicious candy here. Auntie, the little boy shouted. Baya had already prepared a gift for the child. She took out a lollipop and gave it to the little boy. He loves candy. He can't help but want to eat it, Su Changhe said helplessly. This candy is made from milk powder. It's not very sweet. Children can eat it to supplement their calcium, Baya explained. Su Changhe glanced at the child. The child held the candy in his mouth and ate happily. You're still the most attentive. After Jiao Jiao goes to sleep, I'll bring you to your future restaurant. Business should be good at night. At present, it's already in a stable state of profitability. You don't have to worry too much about it. There's a person in charge. You just have to check the accounts at the end of the month and see how much profit we've made. If it's a lot, give the employees a red packet. They'll be happy to, Baya said. I'll help you look after the restaurant. I'll send you all the profits, Su Qinghe said. There's no need. You know I'm not short of money. I need you to take good care of my house. The key is my flowers and plants, Baya said. No problem. Jiao Jiao likes to grow flowers and plants. There's a psychiatrist and a newly hired assistant at the clinic. This assistant also graduated from psychology and is from country A. You can handle the rest. Senior psychological skills are better than mine. You should be able to do better than me, Baya said. How can I be better than you? Your hypnosis skills are the best in the industry. I'm still far from you. Moreover, this aspect relies on reputation. The better the reputation, the more the patient trusts. The more trust the patient has, the higher the possibility of treatment. I'll do my best. There are many psychiatrists in America. It's different from country A. In country A, if you go to see a psychiatrist, many people will think that the person is crazy. So, to prevent others from talking about it, many people don't go to see a psychiatrist even if they have psychological problems. Nowadays, the pace of life in many cities in country A is very fast. All kinds of psychological problems have appeared, especially among people in the 80s and 90s. Moreover, they are more open-minded. Many people will come for counseling. But it's different from America. In America, people need the help of a psychiatrist when they break up. In America, unless they have serious depression, they won't come for help, Su Qinghe sighed. So you should do well in America. As for the fame, you just need to create hype. I'll write you a recommendation letter before I leave and find a few friends in the media to help you promote it. Then there won't be a problem. Baya, I'll remember your kindness. If you need help in the future, just come to me. I'll go through fire and water for you, Su Qinghe said righteously. Baya smiled. Okay. While they were talking, they arrived home. Su Qinghe woke Su Jiao up. Gu Lingqing helped carry the luggage. Baya carried the child and told them which room to sleep in. They put the luggage in a simple place. Su Qinghe's wife took the bed and went to sleep first. Su Qinghe went out. Is she okay? Baya asked. She's still jet-lagged. Her head hurts. She'll sleep for a while and buy some bread when she comes back. Su Qinghe closed the door. Okay, there's water in the fridge. Put it by her bed. She can drink it if she wants, Baya reminded him. Okay, but wait for me. I'll make some milk powder for the baby. Baya looked at the way Su Qinghe made milk powder. The image of Gu Lingqing making milk powder flashed in her mind. When I'm not here, do you take care of our child like this? Baya asked Gu Lingqing. I don't take care of Shosho for a long time. Mom takes care of him, and the little girl you left behind. Fortunately, the little girl helps to take care of the child. Otherwise, Mom might be too busy. After all, Mom has to look after the company, Gu Lingqing explained. Little girl? Baya didn't have such a person in her mind. She couldn't remember at all. She has been helping us take care of the child in the base. She has been helping to take care of Shosho since he was born. She studied medicine and helped to take care of him. She takes good care of him. Baya nodded. She still couldn't remember, but she was not in a hurry. When she returned to China, she would see it. Su Qinghe made milk for the child. He tested the temperature and handed it to the child. His child was very obedient. He held the milk and drank it with a jijadu sound. Su Qinghe put the child in the cart and said to Baya, "Let's go." Baya took Su Qinghe to the seafood restaurant. The child fell asleep while drinking the milk. Fortunately, he brought the cart, and the child slept in the cart. Su Qinghe covered the child with a blanket. They chatted while eating. "Baya, do you want to recover your memory?" Su Qinghe asked. Well, Baya thought about it seriously. I think my life now is very good. I don't have the memory of the past. I have Gu Lingqing to remind me. If I recover, there are also benefits. I won't be unfamiliar with everyone. After all, it's also my past experience. It's a pity to lose it. Let nature take its course. Maybe one day I will remember it. Su Qinghe wanted to say something but stopped. What's wrong? Do you have something to say to me? Baiye saw the clue. Su Qinghe smiled slightly. Seeing that they were so happy now, he chose to hide it. Just like what Baiye said, let nature take its course. I am Qin Tangtang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Fairy Lake. Chapter 805. When are you going to hold the wedding? Su Qinghe asked. Baiye looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise. We haven't held the wedding yet. Gu Lingqing held her hand tightly in his. Something happened to me before the wedding, so I only got the marriage certificate and didn't hold the wedding. When I go back this time, I'm going to have a good wedding. Baiye looked at him suspiciously. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing asked. Our child is already so old, but we haven't held the wedding yet. I didn't know we had a child before. Our child was taken away and placed in someone else's house, Gu Lingqing explained. Baiye recalled that he seemed to have mentioned that their eldest son was with his adoptive parents. At that time, she was wondering why their eldest son would be with his adoptive parents. It turned out that he was taken away. Fortunately, he was found. The meal ended in a pleasant atmosphere. The next day, Baiye brought Su Changhe to the clinic and briefed him. She was going to leave the clinic to Su Changhe. An assistant who had been following her around was reluctant to part with her, and was in low spirits. Baiye treated them to lunch. Firstly, it was a farewell. Secondly, it was to let Su Qinghe get to know them better. Dr. Bai, when are you leaving? The assistant who had been following Baiye asked. Tomorrow, Baiye said. So soon. The assistant was shocked. She looked at Baiye pitifully, and was reluctant to part with her. You can call me when there's internet and video in the future. Also, Su Changhe is my senior. When I was studying psychology, I asked him about things I didn't understand. He knows more than me, Baiye said with a smile. She felt a little melancholy in her heart. Parting was always sad. Leaving meant that it would be difficult to see each other again. She suddenly understood why the ancients were so afraid of parting. At that time, they didn't have mobile phones, planes, or cars. The most convenient means of transportation was carriages. It was so far from one place to another. After they separated, it was difficult to see each other again. Even letters might not reach each other. Su Changhe was the one who sent her home after she drank. When she got home, she was a little drunk and collapsed on the sofa. Gu Lingqing was worried. She immediately went to the kitchen to make some honey water and handed it to her. She was distressed and scolded. Why did you drink so much wine? I'm a little sad, said Baiye softly. Why are you sad? Gu Lingqing was more worried, afraid that she was in a bad mood. Baiye drank the honey water in the cup in one gulp and put the cup on the tea table. Thinking of parting, some people will never see each other again. Even if they do, it will be a long time later. Gu Lingqing stared at her. Baiye had always been cold. She rarely gave her feelings. That was because she valued relationships too much. It was easy to be a burden to herself. She simply did not accept others. When she left, she would not be so sad. Those people were just her colleagues. They had only been together for half a year, and she was already sad. His departure was a big blow to her. It was so big that she could not bear it. So she chose to hypnotize herself. Otherwise, she would feel sad when she woke up. She would feel sad when she fell asleep. Sooner or later, her spirit would collapse. I will not leave you again, nor will I do anything dangerous. I will always be by your side and not let you worry. Gu Lingqing promised. She felt sad. She hugged him and tears flowed out. She knew herself a little. She could not even let go of her colleagues. It was impossible for her to give up her child, unless she could not bear a greater pain. However, she did not want to think about it. The more she thought about it, the more afraid she would be. She would rather accept her happy life now. After she finished crying, she was tired and went back to her room to sleep. Gu Lingqing packed up his luggage. Baiye did not have a lot of clothes. He had even less clothes. 2 simple suitcases were all packed. She was still asleep. Because of the alcohol, Her cheeks were red. He lay down next to her and slept for a while too. After some time, he noticed movement beside him and opened his eyes. Baya woke up. She flipped her hair embarrassedly. I slept for a long time. It's good to sleep more. When we go back tomorrow, we will have jet lag. It's easy to get a headache if you sleep less. Baya smiled. Then I will get drunk before boarding the plane. I will sleep once I get on the plane. I will sleep until we get off the plane. Anyway, you are here. Gu Lingqing replied dotingly. At night, they had their last dinner with Su Changhe and his wife. The next day, Baya and Gu Lingqing were leaving. Su Changhe drove them in Baya's car. Thinking about going back to country A, Baya was excited and nervous. She was excited because she could see her child again. She was nervous because she had forgotten a lot of things. On the way, Gu Lingqing took good care of her. Baya tried her best to sleep. She slept so that she wouldn't get a headache. Gu Lingqing had a good physique. He didn't sleep much and took care of her. When the plane arrived in country A, someone drove a limousine over to pick up Gu Lingqing. Baya slept for a long time. She still had a headache. She got into the limousine and closed her eyes to sleep. After driving for more than an hour, the car stopped. Someone came over to check. Chief. The soldiers greeted respectfully. Baya heard the voice and opened her eyes. When the soldiers saw that it was Baya, they smiled happily. Madam, you are finally back. Baya smiled. They seemed to be very friendly to her and happy to see her. The car continued to drive. Baya looked out of the window. She saw many fruit trees. Behind the fruit trees was a huge lake. The surface of the lake reflected the sunlight, and the ripples sparkled. An image of her fishing by the lake flashed through her memory. There was a tent and a table. There was a stove beside the table. There was water boiling on the stove, and the water was steaming. It was winter. She felt a little bitter in her heart. She smiled. I should be fishing by this lake often. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. The car stopped. Gu Lingqing got off first. When Baya was about to get off, he carried Baya out of the car. Baya felt embarrassed. She saw some people at the door and looked over. There was a kind-looking old man and two young girls. Madam, you are back, one of the girls said. There were tears in her eyes and her voice was choked. She is Lin Shulan. She has been with you for a long time. She is my mother's goddaughter now, Gu Lingqing explained. The girl beside her was calmer. She greeted. Madam, you are back. Xiaoxia. She takes care of Shosho, Gu Lingqing said. Speaking of Shosho, Baya didn't see any children. She felt her shirt being pulled. She looked down. A pink and tender little boy smiled and said in a muffled voice, Little sister, you're a little girl. Mimi Mimi hug. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Follow Yaoqi. You can listen to it. Chapter 806. Baya looked at him and her heart melted. She had always liked children, so she picked up Shosho. Shosho tilted his head and looked at Baya. His eyes were round and he had both her and Gu Lingqing's good points in them. He was very good looking. Shosho, call me mommy, Gu Lingqing said. Mommy, beautiful, beautiful, Shosho said and pinched Baya's face. Baya liked it and pretended to bite Shosho's hand. Shosho wasn't afraid. He looked at Baya kissing his hand and smiled adorably. Come in, it's a little cold outside, Songshiyu said gently. Thank you, Mom, Baya said politely. Songshiyu looked at Baya and tears welled up in her eyes. It's nothing. It's good that you're back. It's good that you're back. Songshiyu turned around and wiped her tears. Her eyes were red. Baya followed them into the living room. There was a child in the living room. He looked at Baya coldly. His eyes were arrogant and murderous. Baya could clearly see hatred and disgust in his eyes. Who is this child? Baya asked Gu Lingqing suspiciously. Gu Lingqing looked worried and looked at Baya. Xiao Xian, Zhou Hailan and my child. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise. There was a strange feeling in her heart. It was hard to be a stepmother. She frowned when she saw the murderous look in the child's eyes. Songshiyu was worried that Baya would misunderstand. She immediately explained. They didn't have this child normally. Zhou Hailong got Lingqing's sperm. She and Lingqing didn't have sex. Baiya looked at Xiao Xian and said with certainty, "You hate me." "You're the one who killed my mother," Xiaoxing complained. "Xiao Xian, she didn't kill your mother. Your mother is still alive. Even without her, I wouldn't be with your mother. Besides, your mother's crime is unforgivable. It's good enough that she's still alive." Gu Lingqing said sternly. "Look, you're biased towards her." "I hate her, I hate you all," Xiao Xian shouted. Baiya smiled. Xiaoxia carries Shoushou into the room to play. Baiya passes Shoushou to Xiaoxia. Xiaoxia immediately brought Shoushou to the room. "Do you like your grandma?" Baiya asked Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian looks at the kind Song Shiyu and lowers her head. Baiya looks at Gu Lingqing. "Can we move out?" "Why do we have to move out? Isn't this place good?" Song Shiyu said gently, her voice full of concern. "A long time ago, I read a story that goes something like this. The main character's aunt is a very kind and caring person. She bought a house in the city. Every time the villagers and relatives come to the city, they would stay at her house. She would also treat them warmly. After a few decades, the aunt's children grew up, got married and had children. The house became crowded. However, the villagers still go to her house. Sometimes the aunt would reject them. Once she rejects them, they would say bad things about her behind her back. They said that the aunt has no conscience, that the aunt has no love, that the aunt is treacherous, that the aunt looks down on the villagers, that the aunt is arrogant, and so on and so forth. All the words they hear are negative. If a person is kind for a long time, if they are not kind once, they will be evil in the eyes of others. If a person is not kind for a long time, if they are kind once in a while, they will think that the person is not bad in the eyes of others. Xiao Xian. Baiya looks at Xiao Xian. "This child hates me to the core. Moreover, he is very paranoid. If I stay here, we will definitely have a conflict. If I handle the conflict, it might make him feel wronged. The adults will feel reluctant to part with this child, and think that I don't have the magnanimity of an adult. If I don't handle it and let you handle it, you will feel annoyed and hurt. Secondly, I will be hurt. If you help him, in my eyes, you will be helping the wicked to do evil. I will also feel wronged, sad. If you help me, then this child will be sad and wronged. He will want to take revenge even more. Living together for a long time will cause conflict. I can't change the fact that he is Gu Lingqing's child. You have the responsibility to raise him. So I will try my best to choose a way that will not cause conflict. No, Xiao Xian is a sensible child. As long as you treat him well, he will be grateful," Song Shiyu says pitifully. Baiya smiles faintly. "Do you think he is a sensible child now?" At work, some people think that the boss is good and some think that the boss is bad. That is because the boss treats the employees differently. If the boss treats some employees well, some employees will be grateful and work hard. If the boss treats some employees badly, the employees will naturally complain and even want to leave. The logic is the same. If you treat Xiao Xian well, Xiao Xian will know that you are his grandmother. There is no hatred between the two of you. Naturally, if you think that he is good, he will think that you are good. But to Xiao Xian, I'm his mother's rival in love. Because of me, he doesn't have a mother and can't be with his parents like other kids. This is the reason why he hates me, and it won't change. I understand his hatred, just like how I hated Xing Bachuan's wife, Chang Ruyan. No matter how kind and nice I am to Xiao Xian, he will think that I am putting on an act in front of his father with bad intentions. If that is the case, why waste energy and time on unnecessary people? Baiya looks at Song Shiyu. I will be very busy in the future. I will spend my time on my husband, my child, and my work. My energy is limited. If I spend more time on other things, I will naturally spend less time on the people who are important to me. I may be able to get this child's temporary peace, but my child will also be hurt. He will think about why his mother is so good to his brother. You may think that I am heartless and unsympathetic. I am selfish. I want to give my everything to the people I want to give it to, The people I think are more important to me. So I don't have time to take care of someone who will hate me. I am also not willing to waste time on someone who is destined to not be grateful to me. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Xiaoya, you study psychology. Maybe you can influence Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian is really a sensible and well-behaved child. Song Shiyu still didn't give up. I understand human nature. This child may not be a bad person, but he hates me. I don't have the time and energy to reform him. I don't want to spend time on things that are unnecessary to me. Mom, take good care of him. For him, having you and Gu Lingqing is enough. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Fairy Lake, then you can listen to it. Chapter 807. Do you still have any humanity? How can you be so heartless? He is still a child. You keep saying that it is enough for him to have Lingqing. But if you leave, how can Lingqing come back? He has no mother and needs a father. That's right. You can let go of Shosho and leave. You can do that to your own son, let alone to other people's children. Song Shiyu was a little uneasy and said. Baiya stared at Song Shiyu's anger and resentment towards her. This perhaps was human nature. Most people stood on their own side, and she did not blame them. Every man for himself would be destroyed by heaven and earth. However, she also had to stand on her side to consider the problem. She had just arrived, but Song Shiyu already had so many opinions about her. It was obvious that Song Shiyu cared about Xiao Xian. In the future, as long as Xiao Xian provoked a little, Song Shiyu would have more opinions about her. In the long run, it would hurt the relationship between them. Song Shiyu was Gu Lingqing's mother. It was difficult for Gu Lingqing to be stuck in the middle. And she would also be annoyed. No matter how powerful the enemy was, it could not hurt a person's heart. The one who could hurt a person's heart was always the person he cared about the most. Baiya turned around and looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. I respect and support your decision. Baiya's heart trembled, and some warm currents flowed into her limbs and bones. He still cared about her the most, so even if she showed the evil side of human nature, he still protected her. In her heart, his action was very warm. Similarly, in Song Shiyu's heart, she must have been hurt. Life was so angry. Everything in the world reinforced and restrained each other. What was good for one side would naturally be bad for the other side. Lingqing, I don't like Xiao Xian because he was born from you and another woman. I'm jealous, disgusted by him. I feel uncomfortable whenever I see him. Even if I pretend to be kind on the outside, I can't change the torment in my heart. But I don't want you to feel bad and be stuck in the middle. So I choose not to be calculative. After all, you are his father. He needs you to correct his outlook on life, values, and right and wrong. In the future, you should pay more attention to him. Surround him with your love. This is the only thing I can tolerate and support you in fulfilling your responsibilities as a father. Baiya said seriously. Gu Lingqing nodded. When he nodded, there was a moment of discomfort in her heart. The more time Gu Lingqing spent on Xiao Xian, the less time he spent on Shosho. However, it was impossible for a person to get everything he wanted. He shouldn't build his happiness on other people's pain. He shouldn't hope for 100%. The greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. It was enough to get 50%. If it was less than 50%, there was no need to wait and stay. Even if she was uncomfortable, she had to endure it. After all, Xiao Xian was his child. She chose to live with Gu Lingqing, so she had to accept the current situation. When accepting the current situation, she had to first consider the future. With this situation, many things could not be avoided. Instead of suffering every day in the future, it was better to think about what she could retreat from the beginning, and what her bottom line was. Once she had made up her mind, there was no need to hesitate. After all, the road was chosen by herself. Baiya looked at Song Shiyu. You don't have to worry now. Song Shiyu calmed down, and realized that what she said just now was too harsh. I'm sorry, Xiaoya. I said the wrong thing just now. Song Shiyu apologized. Baiya smiled. This is the resentment you have for me. If I were you and my daughter-in-law ran away and left the child behind, I would definitely have resentment too. You're right, you don't have to apologize. Song Shiyu was worried that her behavior would chase Baiya away. It's my fault. I shouldn't have said that. You've done enough for Lingqing. It's also because you love him and can't bear to be apart. That's why you made this decision. I didn't consider your pain. I'm sorry. You're a good child. I know that your decision is definitely right. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. There's no resentment. It's not about forgiveness. Thank you for helping me take care of Shosho, Baiya said calmly. Her calmness scared Song Shiyu. She asked uncertainly, will you bring Shosho to visit me? I'm not staying with you, but it doesn't mean that you can't visit Shosho. I welcome you to visit Shosho anytime. But if I bring Shosho here and Xiao Xian sees him, he will feel uncomfortable. He will feel that his pitiful love has been taken away again. He will hate my child. I don't want to cause trouble for my child, Baiya said rationally. Song Shiyu didn't know what to say. She lowered her head and wiped her tears. She knew that Baiya studied psychology. She was more knowledgeable about life than the average person. She could see the future and predict the future. So even though it seemed heartless, it made sense. If she said it directly, she would feel uncomfortable for a while. If she didn't say it, people would be suspicious and she would feel uncomfortable for the rest of her life. Then can you stay here today? Song Shiyu asked expectantly. Baiya nodded. It could be seen that Shosho was well taught by Song Shiyu. If she took Shosho away as soon as she came back, it would be unkind to Song Shiyu. I will stay for a few days. As for the rest, we will wait for Gu Lingqing's arrangement. Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing nodded. Baiya went back to her room. Shosho was playing with toys in the room with Xiao Xia. Baiya sat on the sofa and watched Shosho. Shosho handed his beloved car to Baiya. Baiya took it with a smile. Shosho went to get other gifts for Baiya. Baiya took it and played with Shosho, Song Shiyu's room. When are you going to move? Song Shiyu asked worriedly. Although Xiaoya's words are harsh, she avoided unhappiness in the future. I think what she said makes sense. I will come back to see you often. Gu Lingqing said with a deep voice. Xiaoya has always been cold and decisive. Once she has decided, no one can change her mind. From another perspective, if she doesn't come back, you won't come back either. You will only come back when she comes back. Although she is cold, she is reasonable and considerate. She won't make things difficult for you, Song Shiyu said softly. Xiaoya has forgotten most of the things. She has also forgotten about Zhou Hailan. Ha! She has forgotten most of the things. Song Shiyu was shocked. She didn't know about this. No wonder she is more rational than before. She is so rational that she is not affected by her emotions. She has forgotten most of the things. Is there an accident? She hypnotized herself. Song Shiyu was shocked again. She lowered her head and hid her emotions. I forgot that she had this ability. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account, Fairy Lake, then you can listen to it. Chapter 808. Gu Lingqing could tell that she still had a grudge against Baiya. His gaze deepened. I left without saying goodbye and chose to die. She must be very sad. After all, she had worked so hard for so long. That's why she chose to forget the past. In the past, I lived for the country. Now I want to live for her. She sacrificed so much for me. Gu Lingqing said to Baiya in a gentle tone. Song Shiyu was moved. We owe her. Don't worry about Xiao Xian. I'll raise him up and regulate his behavior. I'll teach him to be a good person. When Xiaoya left, she considered your feelings. She was afraid that you would be too sad, so she asked someone to send Xiao Xian to your side. She wanted you to be happy. If she makes you feel uncomfortable now, she hopes that you can forgive her, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Song Shiyu's eyes turned red. I just think, how can a person be so rational and heartless? Being heartless doesn't mean that she doesn't have feelings. The probability of her analysis is 80%. She just eliminated a lot of unnecessary worries, Gu Lingqing said. She's the person you love the most. You'll definitely speak up for her. Even if she's not the person I love the most, I think what she said makes sense. You have a different feeling for Xiao Xian. Now you feel that Xiao Xian is wronged. If she and Xiao Xian have a conflict in the future, you'll side with Xiao Xian even more. Your feelings will be consumed during the incident. She's just trying to maintain the current situation, Gu Lingqing said rationally. Ah! Xiao Xian screamed in fear. Song Shiyu immediately opened the door, and saw Xiao Xian lying on the ground, not moving at all. Gu Lingqing came out too. The first person he saw was Baiya standing in the corridor. What happened? He rolled down the stairs by himself, Baiya explained. Xiao Xian sat up. Her arms, legs and waist were all bruised. She pointed at Baiya and said, "It was you. You pushed me down. Why did you push me?" Song Shiyu looked at Baiya. Baiya smiled and said to Song Shiyu, "Do you believe him but not me? He is already injured. How can you still smile?" Song Shiyu said anxiously. Baiya was also angry. "Can you tell what a smile is? I'm not laughing because I'm taking pleasure in your misfortune, but because I'm disappointed in you. Besides, even if I'm really laughing, it's only natural because he's trying to frame me. Kindness needs to be clear about the target. You should have heard of the story of the farmer and the snake. You're so eloquent. I can't argue with you." Song Shiyu helped Xiao Xian up. "Are you hurt? Where does it hurt? I'll take you to the hospital now." Song Shiyu held Xiao Xian's hand and walked away. Baiya smiled slightly. She shouldn't be angry. She looked at Gu Lingqing and said, "Do you also think that I did it? I believe he fell down on his own. There was no need for you to push him, but there was something to be gained from him pushing you." He was aiming for Song Shiyu's misunderstanding of you and her love for him, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya felt a little warm in her heart. She was not angry anymore. She came here because of Gu Lingqing. As long as Gu Lingqing understood her, she didn't care about other people. Naturally, she didn't need to care about other people's emotions and misunderstandings about her. This child must have prepared a plan. When I went out, I saw him standing at the stairs. He looked at me with hatred and fell down by himself. Baiya explained. "Xiaoya, you're a psychologist. What do you think we should do in such a situation?" "There's no solution. The reason why he did this is because of his hysterical hatred for me. In order to take revenge on me, he didn't hesitate to hurt himself. He's someone who can be cruel to himself. Although he's still young, he's very vicious. In order to avoid aggravating the hatred, the less contact, the better. So I really can't bring him around," Baiya said gently. Gu Lingqing nodded. "I know what to do. Wait for me at home." Gu Lingqing went out and saw them by the lake. Song Shiyu was applying medicine for Xiao Xian. Gu Lingqing walked over and took the medicine from Song Shiyu. He squatted down and applied it for Xiao Xian. "Dad, she really pushed me downstairs," Xiao Xian complained. "I installed a surveillance camera in the room and checked it. I saw you standing at the stairs from the start. When you saw her coming out, you fell down by yourself," Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Xiao Xian was stunned. He looked at Gu Lingqing carefully. Song Shiyu saw Xiao Xian's expression and knew that it was true. He comforted. "Xiao Xian is still a child. It's inevitable that he'll be stubborn. Don't blame him. When a child does something wrong, he can avoid punishment because he's a child. It's mainly because the adults are soft-hearted, loving and unwilling to let him go. As time goes by, the child will feel that it's okay for him to make mistakes because someone is protecting him and spoiling him. In the future, he'll go overboard. He's trying and leveling up," Gu Lingqing said coldly. Song Shiyu's expression didn't look good. "I'll teach him in the future. You can't bear to punish him this time. If you still can't bear to do it next time, I'll send Xiao Xian away and get someone to teach him strictly," Gu Lingqing said. "Dad, don't. Xiao Xian knelt on the ground anxiously. "Xiao Xian won't do it again. Xiao Xian will be obedient in the future. I've heard you say this a few years ago. What happened in the end? You hate her but she's innocent. I've never liked your mother. She killed my brothers and has been lurking around me. I don't expect you to understand now. I just hope that you'll understand when you grow up. Gu Lingqing stood up coldly. I won't allow you to send him away. Are you trying to force me to death? Xiao Xian is already pitiful without his parents. Where are you going to send him? Lingqing, you can't be so cruel. Song Shiyu walked to Xiao Xian's side and protected Xiao Xian. I'm not cruel. I'm just making the right choice. You're loving, but you'll cause him to go astray. If you send him away, won't he go down the wrong path? He'll hate you too. Let Xiao Xian stay by my side. I'm begging you, Song Shiyu said pitifully. Gu Lingqing's heart softened. He looked at Xiao Xian in Song Shiyu's arms. This is the last chance I'm giving you. If you do something wrong again, I promise you'll lose your freedom forever. Xiao Xian nodded. His whole body was trembling with anger, tolerance, fear, and hatred. Gu Lingqing went back. Baiya was playing with Shosho. Gu Lingqing sat next to Baiya, looked at her and said, I will take you and Shosho back to the military area tomorrow. Bring Xiao Xia along. I think she has a good relationship with Shosho. She doesn't have a boyfriend yet. We'll find one for her in the military, Baiya said with a smile. Xiao Xia immediately blushed and lowered her head shyly. What about Lin Shulan? Gu Lingqing asked. I am Qin Tangtang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account, Fairy Lake, then you can listen to it. Chapter 809. She's your mother's adopted daughter, and there's no one around her. Let her stay with your mother. Old people need to be taken care of too, Baiya said gently. She was so mean to you just now. Don't you blame her? Gu Lingqing asked and passed the toy to Shosho. Of course not. She loves Xiao Xian so much. The moment I refuted her, she would definitely be angry too. When people are angry, they will definitely hurt others. That's normal. Plus, she has a grudge against me. She must vent it out. We should be filial to her in the future, Baiya said with a smile. Gu Lingqing smiled too. She looked cold and aloof, but in fact, she knew what was right and what was wrong. She was also very understanding. Shosho, call me Daddy, Gu Lingqing said. Daddy. Shosho played with his toy and said casually. Baiya saw that he was acting weird and her heart softened. She lowered her head and kissed Shosho's face. Shosho looked at Baiya and kissed Baiya's face too. It was as if the intimacy came from the blood. Half an hour later, Lin Shulan came up and said to them, Dinner is ready. Young master, Madam Xiao Xia, young master, come down and eat. Let's go down and eat, Gu Lingqing said and wanted to hold Baiya's hand. Baiya quickly carried Shosho. Gu Lingqing was speechless. Xiao Xia pursed her lips and smiled. The last time she had a gathering with her classmates, everyone said that after a man gave birth to a son, the most important thing in his heart was his wife. After a woman gave birth to a son, the most important thing in her heart was her son. They also said that after a man gave birth to a daughter, the most important thing in his heart was his daughter. After a woman gave birth to a daughter, the most important thing in her heart was her husband. She had never married, had no boyfriend and had never given birth to a child, so she just listened to it. Now it seemed to be true. Baiya carried Shosho downstairs. Song Shiyu was setting the table. She greeted respectfully, Mom. Well, have a seat. I was in a bad mood just now, so I spoke too harshly. I'm sorry. Song Shiyu apologized. It's okay, Baiya said with a smile and looked at Shosho. Call me Grandma, Grandma. Grandma. Shosho called out in a childish voice. He looked at Song Shiyu with his black eyes. Song Shiyu also liked Shosho. She then looked at Baiya. Shosho has a child chair. I'll carry him to eat first. All right. Song Shiyu carried Shosho and placed him on the child's chair. She prepared some food for Shosho and Xiao Xia came over to feed Shosho. Baiya saw that the food was very sumptuous. There was Peking duck, beef, braised pork with preserved vegetables, prawns, braised fish, stewed chicken feet, pickled squid, white gourd spare ribs, crab tofu and a bowl of fu tiao chang. It had been a long time since she had seen so many dishes from her hometown. Her appetite was instantly aroused. She ate the braised pork with preserved vegetables and praised generously, "Delicious." Song Shiyu heard the praise and smiled. "Eat more. You're too skinny. It's good for your body to gain some weight. I'm learning martial arts from Lingqing now to strengthen my body. Mom, you should eat more too." Baiya smiled. Gu Lingqing peeled the prawns, dipped them in the sauce and placed them in front of Baiya. Baiya felt sweet. The prawns that Gu Lingqing peeled were very delicious. She peeled one too and dipped it in the sauce. She placed it in front of Gu Lingqing. Love was like a beautiful waltz. It wasn't about giving blindly, nor was it about gaining blindly. Instead, it was about mutual efforts. "Oh yeah, is Zhang Xingyu still with you?" Baiya asked casually. Lin Shulan shivered and lowered her head. "He should be nearby. Ask him to join us for dinner," Baiya said. "Okay," Gu Lingqing replied and made a call. Lin Shulan quickly gobbled up the rice and finished it in a minute. She said to Xiaoxia, "You eat. I'll feed Shosho." "Okay." Xiaoxia replied and sat at the dining table. Soon, Zhang Xingyu came over and greeted them respectfully. "Madam Chief, Madam Chief." "Xingyu, long time no see. You've grown stronger," Song Shiyu said happily. Zhang Xingyu scratched his head and looked at Gu Lingqing. "It's the chief who took good care of me." Lin Shulan stole a glance at Zhang Xingyu. Her eyes flashed with emotion. She lowered her head and continued to feed Shosho. Zhang Xingyu didn't see Lin Shulan. He sat beside Xiaoxia and smiled at her. Xiaoxia blushed even more. Lin Shulan saw the exchange of glances between them. She smiled bitterly and continued to feed Shosho. Shosho shook his head in satisfaction and knocked on the table, attracting everyone's attention. Zhang Xingyu looked at Shosho too. This kid is obviously a martial arts prodigy. Everyone at the table laughed. Even Gu Lingqing, who usually didn't smile, had a smile on her face. Lin Shulan looked at Zhang Xingyu. Zhang Xingyu didn't even look at her. She didn't want to embarrass herself, so she continued to feed Shosho. Baiya could tell that there was something going on between Lin Shulan and Zhang Xingyu. She looked at Gu Lingqing and met Gu Lingqing's gaze. You wanted to matchmake them, but Zhang Xingyu didn't have the intention, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. "I can tell," Baiya said softly as she placed the peeled prawns into Gu Lingqing's bowl. The meal was quite harmonious. After the meal, Gu Lingqing and Baiya brought Shosho out for a walk. The breeze blew past their faces, bringing with it the fragrance of flowers. "Is the president your elder brother or younger brother?" Baiya asked. "He said that he's my elder brother. Because we're twins, he looks very similar to me. I told him that he'll meet us at the military base tomorrow. Also, he's married to Muwan. She changed her name to Xiangwan," Gu Lingqing said. Baiya shook her head. "I don't have any impression of these people." "You haven't met her, but you suggested not to marry her. Muwan is the daughter of the eldest daughter of the Xiang family. She followed her father since she was young. She only returned to the Xiang family after her father died," Gu Lingqing explained. Baiya nodded. She had no impression of these people and wasn't interested in them. She squeezed Gu Lingqing's shoulder and her eyes lit up. "What position are you going to arrange for me at the military base?" "The wife of the chief," Gu Lingqing said seriously. Baiya smiled. "Arrange a job for me in the psychological field. I need to have something to do, so I won't feel too empty." "Okay, I'll make arrangements after we go to the military base tomorrow. Will you still accept patients who are not from the military base?" Baiya pondered and said. "I don't think so. I can still show the soldiers' families. I used to be in the gynecology and obstetrics department, so I know how to deliver babies. Soldiers and their wives and children have been away for too long, so it's inevitable that they will be homesick. If we can bring them over and they can see each other often, they will be more grateful. Soldiers have sacrificed a lot to protect the country, so we should also fight for more benefits for them, right? About this, I'll leave it to you. If you have any ideas, you can tell me and go through the process. Don't worry about money, Guz is still rich." I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Fairy lake, then you can listen to it. Chapter 8:10. Baya lowered her head and laughed softly. Gu Lingqing looked at her, puzzled. What are you laughing at? I feel very happy, so I'm very happy. I'm also thankful for my hard work in the past, so that I can easily obtain happiness now. Baya said happily, her eyes reflecting the light of the street lamps, full of emotion and passion. When he heard her say that, his heart was filled with tenderness. He smiled and held her hand, intertwining their fingers. I'll tell you everything in the future. I won't let you guess or make a choice. That's the best. You know, when you do a job, you'll get tired of it. I'm always trying to guess people's hearts at work. If life is so tiring, I'll feel very annoyed. Baya leaned on his shoulder and looked up at the moon. The moon was round and bright, looking very beautiful. When are you going to visit Lu Shuang in Country D? I'll make the arrangements, Gu Lingqing said gently. I want to go after I see Sheniyan, so that I can answer to her. Otherwise, if I go empty-handed and bring nothing to her, it'll only add to her worries, Baya said rationally. Okay. The two of them stood together and looked at the moon. Xiao Xia held Shosho's hand and stood at the side, looking at the moon with them. The autumn wind blew over. It was cool, but mixed with the fragrance of nature, it felt very beautiful. It was as if they were in ancient times, enjoying the peace and beauty of nature. The next day, Baya woke up naturally. She looked to her side and saw that Gu Lingqing was no longer there. He usually woke up earlier than her. She went to brush her teeth and wash up. When she went out, she saw Gu Lingqing running around the lake. She ran with him, trying her best to keep up with his slow pace. They ran 10 laps and came back. I'll teach you a few of the most useful defensive skills. Sure, Baya replied. Do you know where the weakest part of the human body is? Gu Lingqing asked. Eyes, throat, and there, Baya said. If the opponent attacks you from the front, in a moment of desperation, you should attack his eyes and throat. Except for the weak points, these two places have no defense. If you kick your hand over there, the opponent will clamp your leg, which will put yourself in danger. Gu Lingqing explained in detail. Baya nodded and went to attack Gu Lingqing's eyes. He did not move. Of course, she wouldn't really attack his eyes. She stopped and asked, Why didn't you dodge? I want you to find your sense of existence. Gu Lingqing said earnestly. If I didn't hold back, would you have lost your eyes? Although Baya scolded him harshly, she still felt sorry for him in her heart. Moreover, there was a very sweet feeling. Didn't you stop it? Gu Lingqing said dotingly. In order to ensure that you can hit the enemy without fail, I will train your speed and the strength of your fingertips. Do you know how to train them? Baya shook her head. Although she had done research on psychology, she knew nothing about training. How? First, lift dumbbells for an hour every day. Half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. Then do 6 sets of pull-ups every day. 3 sets in the morning, 30 in each set. 3 sets at night, 30 in each set. Let's do it slowly. Pull-ups. I can't do any of them. That's because you lack arm strength. Does training arm strength have anything to do with fingers? Baya was confused. Actually, there are exercises that involve fingers. Besides, increasing muscle strength will improve your speed and strength. If you can't even do one pull-up, you can change to push-ups. Can you do that? Baya shook her head again. Very few girls can do one. I can't even do one. Do half a push-up first. Take it slowly. Baya was confused. Why do half a push-up first? One is to put your hands on the ground. Your hands and feet are on a flat surface. Half a push-up is to put your hands on the stone bench first. Your hands and feet are at a 45-degree angle. You can do it easily this way. Then slowly lower the height of your hands until you can do a standard push-up. I will train with you. We have all the time in the world, Gu Lingqing said softly. Baya nodded. Then, I'll try half a push-up first. She looked at the chair by the lake. Can I put my hands on it? Yes. Baya put her hands on the chair and pressed down. She did 3 push-ups. Gu Lingqing leaned over and held her stomach with his hand. He reminded her. When you do push-ups, you have to press your body down. All the strength is concentrated in your palms. You don't have to move your butt. Baya was speechless. She blushed. She imagined herself doing it. It was awkward. She pressed her body down. Her arms were too thin and had no muscles at all. They could not support her weight at all. If not for Gu Lingqing holding her up, she would have fallen to the ground. I'm sorry. My stamina is really bad, Baya apologized. It's my fault for not taking good care of you. Don't worry, we can do it slowly. As long as tomorrow is always better than today, Gu Lingqing comforted her. I'll try half a push-up first, Baya said. She looked at the stone table in the forest. Okay. Gu Lingqing held her hand and led her to the forest. Baya practiced push-ups while he practiced martial arts. Baya finished 30 push-ups. She sat on the chair and watched him practice. Just looking at him was enjoyable. When he punched out, she could see the leaves trembling even though they were 2 meters apart. No wonder back in America, he was quickly beaten to the ground when so many people ganged up on him. They practiced together for an hour. They were all sweaty and went back for breakfast. Song Shiyu had woken up a long time ago and had prepared breakfast. Shosho had also woken up and was playing with Che Che. Xiao Xia and Lin Shulan played with him. Mom, Baya called softly. Okay, you guys go take a shower first and come over for breakfast, Song Shiyu said lovingly. Okay. Baya went back to her room to take a shower first. She only applied shampoo on her hair when the water stopped. Lingqing! Lingqing! Baya shouted. Here. Gu Lingqing opened the door and came in. He looked at her and paused for a moment. She was not wearing any clothes. Her snow-white body was stained with water vapor. She was like a lotus flower coming out of the water, pink and tender. His breath tightened and the color of his eyes changed. Baya did not notice his strangeness. She turned on the faucet and said, There's suddenly no water. Gu Lingqing came back to his senses. That's impossible. We have our own electricity and water. A thought flashed through his mind, and he roughly knew the reason. Wait a moment. He went out and entered the electrical room. Sure enough, someone had turned off the electricity to the pump. He turned on the electricity, went out, locked the door, and looked for Song Shiyu. Song Shiyu was also playing with Shosho. Mom. Come here. Gu Lingqing said. Confused, Song Shiyu followed Gu Lingqing out of the door. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been adapted into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Fairy Lake, then you can listen to it. Chapter 8:11. Xiaoyu was taking a shower just now. Xiao Xian turned off the water pump. Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Song Shiyu paused and looked at Gu Lingqing in disbelief. He really did that. When Zhou Hailan was around, he had been trying to sow discord between Xiao Xian and Xiaoya. Zhou Hailan framed me and killed my brothers. In order to save me, Xiaoya kidnapped Xiao Xian and forced Zhou Hailan to tell the truth. However, Zhou Hailan would rather abandon Xiao Xian than tell the truth to save me. Then how did you get out in the end? Didn't Zhou Hailan betray Sheng Dongqing to save you? Song Shiyu didn't know much about what happened that year. Zhou Hailan betrayed Sheng Dongqing because Xiaoya went to Su Jieran. Everything Zhou Hailan did was to get Su Jieran's love. In the end, Zhou Hailan was sent to the mental hospital. However, Xiao Xian always remembered that Baya kidnapped him. So he hated Baya to the core, Gu Lingqing explained. Song Shiyu understood. So what did you decide to do? Xiao Xian harmed Xiaoya again and again. Even if he didn't say it in front of us, he did it again in the blink of an eye. He can't stay by our side, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. But if we send him away, he will hate you even more. I will find someone to control him strictly. If he stays by your side, he will be more unscrupulous. I don't need him to be successful. I just want him to live a peaceful life. I will give him enough money to enrich his life. However, if he makes a mistake, I won't let it go, Gu Lingqing said firmly. Song Shiyu finally nodded. She could guarantee that Xiao Xian did it the first time for Baya. However, after one night, Xiao Xian harmed Baiya for the second time. She didn't want to keep Xiao Xian anymore. Gu Lingqing found Xiaoxin, who was hiding in the library, and walked towards him. Xiao Xian stood trembling and looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing squatted down in front of him. Everyone has to take responsibility for their own mistakes. She was the one who kidnapped me. Why doesn't she have to take responsibility? Xiaoxing said anxiously. Did she hurt you? She didn't. If she really kidnapped you, why did she let you go? Kidnapping you was just a temporary measure. You don't understand now, but I hope you will understand when you grow up. Someone will take you away later, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Xiao Xian was worried. Dad, you don't want me anymore? If I don't want you, I won't care about you. I just hope that you will become an upright person and use your intelligence on the right things instead of harming others. In the future, the person who will take care of you will be an excellent soldier. He will teach you martial arts, strategy, and guide you to the correct outlook on life and values. I will call you every week, Gu Lingqing said as he stood up. Xiao Xian pursed his lips and clenched his fists. He could tell that Gu Lingqing had made up his mind. It was useless to beg. Don't regret it. Gu Lingqing looked at the anger in Xiao Xian's eyes, and his eyes darkened. Don't do anything that you will regret. If you make a mistake, I won't let it go. Xiao Xian snorted coldly and walked out of the room. Baiya came out of the shower and saw an angry Xiao Xian. She didn't like this child. She really didn't like him. She felt that he wasn't a child. He carried too much hatred and murderous intent. But he was still a child. Hence, she tried her best to forgive his pranks. Xiaoya, it's time for breakfast, Song Shiyu said gently. Okay, Baiya replied. Then she saw Xiao Xian go to the kitchen. Song Shiyu went to get some porridge. Baiya followed her in, but she didn't see Xiao Xian. I made porridge with pork and century egg and your favorite egg pancake. You used to like my egg pancakes, Song Shiyu said with a smile. Song Shiyu rolled up the egg pancake and placed it on a plate. Mom, has Xiao Xian had breakfast? Baiya asked. He has. He ate when you were jogging, Song Shiyu said. Baiya smiled. She didn't take the bowl and went out. She went to look for Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing was about to take a shower. Lingqing, there's something I want to tell you, Baiya said. Okay. What is it? Gu Lingqing took off his clothes and revealed his well-dressed upper body. She had seen it. When she looked at it again, she blushed unconsciously. She lowered her eyes and said, I saw Xiao Xian go to the kitchen just now. When I went to the kitchen, he was gone. Gu Lingqing heard something and put on his clothes again. You suspect that he did something to the breakfast? I'm not sure yet. But before he went into the kitchen, he looked at me with hatred. If he didn't do anything, why would he leave through the window? Baiya guessed. Let's go downstairs and have a look, Gu Lingqing said with a serious expression. He went downstairs. This time, Gu Ruoxin had crossed his bottom line. He looked at the breakfast on the table and asked Song Shiyu, Where's Xiao Xian? Song Shiyu looked around and said in confusion, He was here just now. Gu Lingqing went out and saw Gu Ruoxin by the lake. He walked towards Gu Ruoxin. When Gu Ruoxin saw Gu Lingqing coming, he broke into a run. Gu Lingqing made a call. Catch Gu Ruoxin. Soon, Gu Ruoxin was caught by an Ing who was hiding and sent to the villa. Song Shiyu looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing looked at Gu Ruoxin. Eat the breakfast on the table. I'm not eating. I've already eaten, Gu Ruoxin said with his eyes wide open. I know you've eaten. Eat it, Gu Lingqing ordered. Gu Lingqing, are you trying to kill me? You must have poisoned the breakfast. You want to poison me, right? Gu Ruoxin said angrily. Gu Lingqing stood up angrily. If I want to kill you, I can do it in a second. There's no need for such a complicated poison. You know who did it. Song Shiyu was stunned. He looked at Baiya. What do you mean? Ask him, Gu Lingqing said. He looked at Gu Ruoxin fiercely. Since you dare to do it, why don't you dare to admit it? Don't you think that you're doing the right thing? If you don't even have the courage to admit it, how can you be righteous? Fine, I'll say it. I'm the one who put the rat poison. All of you deserve to die, Guruashin said confidently. Song Shiyu slapped Guruashin's face. Guruashin looked at Song Shiyu in surprise. Grandma. I'm not your grandma. I don't have a grandson like you. You already know how to kill people at such a young age. You'll be even worse when you grow up. If it wasn't for Baya, he would have really died after taking the rat poison, Song Shiyu said anxiously. Chapter 8:12. How have they wronged you? Song Shiyu was terrified. You're too scary. You're like a demon. No one has let you down, but you've let others down many times. Guruashin pursed his lips, his eyes filled with arrogance. If you want to kill me, then do it. You've been wanting to kill me for a long time. If I want to kill you, I can do it in a second. The mistakes you have made are enough to put you in prison for 10 years, Gu Lingqing said sternly. It's just 10 years. After 10 years, I will only be 19 years old. What's there to be afraid of? Guruashin said indifferently. You're rebelling. How could the Gu family have a child like you? Song Shiyu couldn't stay calm either. Yen Nua, send him to Chenzhong. Without my order, don't let him leave the island, Gu Lingqing ordered. Yes. Yen Nua nodded and left with Guruashin. Song Shiyu sat on the chair weakly, still looking at Guruashin's back in disbelief. How can this child be like this? He's just a child. How can he be so bad? There are kids like this in every school. They don't listen to the teachers, and they have no discipline. They are mischievous and do bad things to get attention from others. Xiao Xia sighed. It's the influence of the environment. Xiao Xian's obsession is too deep. Her resentment is too strong. She can't change it. That's all we can do, Baya said helplessly. After all, she was not a god. She was just a psychologist. Some people's mental illness could not be cured because they themselves did not think that it was wrong. Therefore, there was nothing she could do. Xiao Xian is gone. Can you stay? Song Shiyu asked hopefully. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. Mom, if it's convenient, why don't you come live with us in the military? Gu Lingqing invited. Okay, Song Shiyu agreed immediately. At her age, she had already seen through money and power. All she wanted was a family reunion, and to be together happily. Song Shiyu was worried that the rice at home had been poisoned, so she threw it all away. It was useless. She covered all the furniture in the house with white blankets. Baya and Gu Lingqing helped together. After living here for 3 years, Song Shiyu was still a little reluctant to leave. We will come back often for vacation, Baya comforted. Song Shiyu smiled. As long as I'm with you, I'll be happy wherever I go. I'm most afraid that you'll leave me behind. I'm sorry, Mom, Baya apologized. Song Shiyu held Baya's hand and patted it. I know that you've thought about every decision you make. I can still fight for the company for another 10 years. After 10 years, you have to think of a way to take over my position. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. She knew nothing about business. Song Shiyu was indeed getting older, and it was time for him to enjoy life. I'll arrange it when the time comes, Gu Lingqing promised. Go and have breakfast now. We've already eaten. Leave this place to us. When are you going to the military base? Is there a plane coming to pick you up? Song Shiyu asked. Gu Lingqing nodded. The plane will arrive at 11 a.m. Xiaoya and I will go and have breakfast first. Go ahead, Song Shiyu said with a smile. In the car Gu Lingqing drove while Baya rested on the chair. Where will you send Xiao Xian? Baya asked casually. I'll train him strictly and correct his outlook on life and values. I hope that he can become a useful person, Gu Lingqing said seriously. I heard that my eldest son is living with his adoptive parents. Can we bring them to the military base? Baya asked softly. It's fine if they live in the compound, but there are many restrictions in the military base. It's not convenient for children to study. Do you still remember what we discussed? We can find an empty plot of land near the military base and apply for it as a place for the families of soldiers to live. We can also build a factory nearby to solve the employment problem for the families. We can also open a hospital and a school. We can prepare all the basic facilities for the people. That way, the soldiers can go home more often. Gu Lingqing thought for a while. We can try it first. When I go back, I'll get someone to look for a plot of land and apply for it. Okay, Baiya replied and looked outside. Every city was more or less the same. The houses, streets, shops, pedestrians. The difference was that every city had its own culture and food. When you go to a place, you have to eat the local food and visit places with historical allusions. It became a tour. Actually, she liked the sea, liked eating seafood, and liked the cool wind. But for her lover, she could give up many things. Gu Lingqing's car stopped. The crab roe dumplings here are not bad. Are they really using crab roe? How can a crab have so much crab roe? Baiya said with a smile. I'll ask when the time comes. There's no need. I'll ask later. I don't care, Baiya said and walked into the restaurant. The staff at the entrance of the restaurant was washing the crabs. Someone sent the steamed red crabs into the kitchen. The entire restaurant was filled with people eating soup dumplings. There were also many people queuing at the window. It seems to be real crabs. The crabs are very plump in this season, Baiya said. Okay, wait a moment. I'll get a private room, Gu Lingqing said and went to find the boss. After a while he came out with a waiter. The waiter brought them to the attic on the second floor. There was an elegant wooden house on the attic on the second floor. In front of the wooden house were flowers and plants that he planted himself. Next to the house was a row of roses. Even though it was November, the flowers had withered. They were green and very beautiful. They blocked the view and the tall buildings. It was a different kind of scenery. Mr. Gu, what would you like to order? The waiter asked respectfully. 4 servings of crab roe dumplings. I want 6 servings to go, and 2 bowls of tofu soup, Gu Lingqing said. Mr. Gu, do you want crystal steamed dumplings? There are 6 flavors. It's the special breakfast of our restaurant, the waiter introduced. Then give me 2 servings. We can't finish all the food we ordered, Baiya reminded. Then 2 servings of crab roe dumplings and 2 servings of crystal steamed dumplings. I want 4 servings of soup dumplings and 2 bowls of steamed dumplings to go. Gu Lingqing changed his order. Do you still want the tofu soup? Yes. Okay. It'll be ready in 2 minutes. The waiter ordered and left. Baiya supported his chin with his fingers rhythmically tapping on the table. The table here should be for the owner's own use. Gu Lingqing answered. Is this restaurant owned by your friend? Baiya asked. Yeah, you know him too. Because of a mistake during a drill, he lost his leg. We went to visit him at his house. In the end, he divorced his wife and started raising crabs in his hometown. He's very experienced in raising crabs. He raises more than 10 acres of crabs in the suburbs. The crabs here are all supplied by him. He has a large share in it. He said that he can get more than 3 million yuan of net profit a year. In the process of starting his business, he also met a good girl and got married. Gu Lingqing said with relief and a smile. I am Qin Tangtang. The novel has been made into a radio drama. Follow me on WeChat Fairy Lake, then you can listen to it. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.